Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Saturday. How are you? Blop, blop, blop. Blop, 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 blop. There we go. Hi, Hedgehog. Hi, Serenity. How are you? Going full grandma mode today. Got my poncho, got my glasses. I'm doing it. Hi, Alex. Hi, Lane. How you guys doing? I actually remembered to forward the announcement to Twitter, but just now realized I forgot to put it into Discord. So while I remembered one, I forgot the other. Hold on. Let me go post a thing. Grandma, what big ears do you have? Right? Every time a kid's like, how did you get your ears so big? I say, you just pull on them a little bit every day. And in a couple years, you got long ears. They seem to like that. Though I bet the parents kind of hate me. Oh, my computer, why? Live, now, HTTP. Screw Discord for having to type out the entire address. And I mean HTTP style. What is the deal? What's up with that? Alright. In and out of there. Gabe, can you throw an everyone tag on that and point out? I forgot to tag everyone. I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. How are you guys? Are you guys with it? Are you not with it? What's going on? How is your Saturday? How is your weekend? How was your week? Tell me everything, because I do care. I want to know. We can talk about it. I gotta find my other music. Do you know that they don't call it iTunes anymore on the computer? They call it music. Like, you know, it used to be iTunes in your bar. Now it's not. Bar. Oh my. Gabe, did you know that? Yeah. That's just wacky. How about that? It's I don't, whatever. It's cool. I was done with the iTunes name anyway, right? Like, let's just be over it. Whatever. Okay. I think I'm caught up now. So what I'm planning to do here today, now, streams going forward, kind of, depending on how it goes. I don't know. I figure it'll always be there as an option. I don't know. But down at the bottom, some of you are familiar with my quick draws, our quick draws, whatever. This is a different take on it, though. Our holiday quick draws are still an insane deal, and we'll still do those because they're a lot bigger than these, and they're a lot more fun because we have the little wheel and all the hubbub and everything. But I figure on every stream, since I kind of loosely plan streams, I kind of don't. Honestly, they're just a time to get together and chat, right? So I figured I'd throw out a quick draw option for anybody that wants it, and that's at the bottom there. So I can do that during the stream, or, you know, I'll have it next stream there, whatever. So we can do it that way. Granted, I had to make it a little bit more expensive than my Patreon tier ATCs, just because I want my patrons to not be getting screwed, you know. But I still wanted to have the option open for people, so it is more expensive than my Patreon option, just by like $5. But, you know, and if you get it done on stream, you can't get it done again for a while. So I make it so you can't do it technically monthly if you did on the stream. So it's It's a thing. It's a thing. So, anyway, how's us? How's we doing? So in the meantime, if nobody wants it, I'm just gonna start working on the ATCs I have to do. And I'm gonna pick ones that are for people that don't come to the stream, because I don't want to ruin the surprise for those of you who are on it that may be here. I don't want to ruin that surprise. So I'm picking people that I basically know aren't going to be on here. Oh, Serenity, you're doing as always. How are me and Gabe? We're good. I think today is just kind of a stressful day. You guys ever have a day that, like, nothing really happens, but everybody's kind of on edge? It's kind of one of those days. Like, there's no good reason, but, you know, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the overall collective consciousness of the world, and it's just energy. I don't know. Or maybe we need to eat more food. Maybe we're all cranky. I don't know. It's a day, right? Okay, so I'm gonna look over my devoted dandelion document. Oh, the alliteration. Oh. So last time on the stream, we did, and these are probably gonna be too shiny because they've got, no, that's alright. So we did this guy for someone, we did this little one, and then we got this little guy. They're not as dirty as they seem. I've got pastel on them because they've been at my desk, so I probably have to clean that up. But that's on the case. That's not on the actual part. So that was last time. This time, let's see what we got. Let's try this. All types of bears. Grizzly bear, black bear, polar bear, owls, foxes, Boston terriers. Old mythology. So this person enjoys like Northern Lights, books, more books, which I dig that. Maybe I should draw a book. I mean, I've drawn quite a few books. Let's be honest. I could draw a book. Dragons, satyrs, mermaids, half-deer people. What is a half-deer person called?
No, satyr?
No, a satyr is a half-goat. What is a deer person?
A deer?
Could do a bear reading. That is pretty cute. Actually, that's a pretty good idea, Alex. I like that. She also likes Luna moths and witches, and that could be fun too. Is that for real a servitor?
Jeez.
Servitor? Look at Alex on the rebound here. That's good, man. All that research you do. It's there when I need it.
I want a one-page story
about a servitor.
Servitor.
Alex, did you hear that? Gabe gave you homework. Not a one page. I'm gonna knock it down to a paragraph. A paragraph about a servitor.
Does he have much Jupiter book?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think your art is really his deal, Gabe.
Well, it's not the art I'm worried about.
Gabe was asking if you had his book. Do you want me to pimp Jupiter on the stream right now?
No, I'm just saying, like it.
I totally will. Give me one. I think it's a good learning experience. It's basically my Guardians too now. I mean,
It's a good learning experience for me.
Well, it's a good learning experience to show anybody.
It's kind of dirty, but whatever.
I feel like everybody here, though, maybe minus Alex and Hedgehog, have seen this. So this is Gabe's Jupiter book from a Kickstarter he did how long ago?
2014.
2014. It's been a minute. It's got gold foil, it's got gold edging, it's a little dirty because this is the one he shows people on stuff, but it's got that fabric cover. But anyway, I think Gabe's point was to show that it's just full of microfiction, which microfiction is a term to describe like, and Alex, you probably know this, but for the people that don't, it's just tiny stories. Basically, it's flash fiction. So this is a spot for him to just draw and you know, put something there that's, you know, special. Anyway, so every page of this is a drawing that has a story that goes along with it. And you can literally open to any page in the book, and that's a story and an image, and it's nice, it's digestible. It's kind of like, I used to really like those books growing up where it was a fortune book. Have you seen these? They had fortune books when I was growing up that it was really thick. It was probably twice this thickness, and you could just open it to any page, and that's kind of like your fortune for the day. Those were my favorite. Man, I like those things. Yeah. But so, you know, Gabe had made this. He was going to make a second one, but I told him basically to do something different but similar. So he kind of did the same thing with NPCs and made a book about that. But yeah, how many pages is this? Oh, there's a burr. Look at this burr.
It's like 100 stories, 100 plus stories, maybe 110 stories.
110 stories,
So
so
it's like 200 plus pages.
200 plus pages, 100 plus stories, whatever. But it's a nice thing, I think, to just have. I don't know, if you need inspiration, you just want whatever. So, like, Alex, let's say that you did a bunch of, you know, prompts, whatever, you did those paragraph stories. Like, look at this. This one's 2 paragraphs. I think he's got one in here. Like, that's basically a paragraph. That's a paragraph. That's a story. So, like, you could turn all the prompts you end up doing daily into something like this, and then you have a product. I might have broke the binding just now.
No,
It's wonk?
it's
Okay.
really old. Yeah.
Oh, and it comes with the ribbon. I forgot about the ribbon. So fancy, Gabe. Look at this. Did you have to get this printed in color to get this tone?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, no, it was just it's one color, so it was like a.
Was it still cheaper?
It wasn't full color.
Okay.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't expensive. It wasn't as cheap as black and white, but it wasn't as.
That's good. At least they gave you some sort of, you know, whatever. That's nice. Anyway, that's a thing. You can buy this on Gabe's shop. What is it? bit.ly/Gabo shop. It doesn't have its own?
That's what it is.
No, for the book.
Maybe.
Cut out the middleman, bro. Wait, then what's bit.ly/Galvasaur? Hi, Little Robin. Little Robin said, that's so cool.
Thank you.
Alex said, that's pretty sweet, Gabe.
Bit.ly Jupiter book.
Oh, Jupiter book. They'll find it. I put in a thing. Okay, so I kind of feel like, and this is the nice thing about doing these ATCs monthly, is, you know, Alex gave me a really good idea. Actually, I can do both because I think she signed into. Let me make sure that, because I think she joined. This person's I'm gonna do. She joined in March, so that means I owe her 2 ATCs already. And if that's true, Alex, we can do your idea, and we'll do this other one I was thinking. So we can do the bear reading. I'll do the bear reading first. At first, I thought you were trying to do a pun before I realized that was a suggestion. Because no. Let me make sure. Yeah, she got in the last day. Alright, so that's due. Let's do that. Because the other one, I kind of want to do a Luna Moth Witch. I think that'd be cute. Oh yeah, Mayfox! Hi. Mayfox has it, doesn't she? Yeah, Mayfox has Jupiter. The weird thing about my camera being right here is it seems to give me quite a hunch I don't have such a bad hunch. I have a pretty basic artist hunch. But it's not as bad as I look. But man, it's not good either. I tell you that it's not. Could be probably a lot better. I'll tell you about my day if you tell me about your day. My day, let's see. I slept basically solid through the whole night, which I never do. So I was super happy about that. And let's see, she wanted tones. Right? Right, okay. So that was really nice. And then I got up, I had some breakfast, very modest breakfast, had some coffee. I make my own coffee now a lot. It's pretty good. I'm learning how to do my favorite espresso drinks pretty quickly. And good quality. I now grind my own beans, you guys. I've never done that before. It's amazing. It makes so much of a difference. I love it. Anyway. And then I worked out. And I worked on a portrait a bit. Oh, maybe I can show that. Oh, it's going to be really, probably kind of big. Well, maybe I can fix that. Hold on. I'm really happy I get to do this one. Look at this bulldog baby. He's a paladin. So I've started to flesh out the pieces. Last night I did the blocking, I'll call it, but he's a very sweet looking boy, and he's a paladin, like I said. So I'm gonna probably have some magic kind of floating off this to be like, yeah, paladin, healing magic, all that. But I got to make more of a stocky build, which I never usually get to do. I could have probably pushed it more, but usually I get like really lean breeds, like labs, thin dogs, whippets, stuff like that. So for me to draw a stocky dog, it's been a while. Like, I don't think I've ever drawn like a full English yet, and I've done hundreds of these. So I'm very excited because I myself have English. His name is Boba, and he's adorable. They sent me videos, and I'll tell you, if you ever get one of these from me, I'm going to want videos, because videos make the experience so much better for me. It's so much more fun. Because who doesn't want videos of people's pets? Let's be honest. And then I put on makeup for the first time in like a month. Went pretty good. And now I'm here with you. And you are now part of my day. Hey, Tad. Making people more independent. How? What happened? Tad, there's a story there. I need to hear it. Oh, Kristen, hi. You got a chance to sew. Yay. I'm happy for you. How are you? Do you grind your beans with a mortar and pestle? God, I wish I could. Oh my God. Alex, don't give me ideas. Oh, I started collecting mortars and pestles like probably 6 years ago before I moved, when I was at my old house and old life, I'll say. And I was like, this is not probably a smart like thing to collect, because a lot of them are really heavy. Some are made of like volcanic stone, some are huge. I'll tell you what though, from the Yisty story, I want that kern. I think it's called a kern. It's literally just like a flat stone that you just rub things in. I love it. It's great. I need to find one. But man, I do like mortar and pestles. I really do. Doing pretty good? Okay. I'm glad, Kristen. Tell Mike we're sorry. Gabe's behind on his thing. It's okay. We'll get there. Things are crazy right now. There's just being a comment on how you grind your own beans. You're going to say, screw all that other coffee. Oh, no. No. I use a NutriBullet. Okay? And if you have a NutriBullet and you want to grind your own beans, you don't need a coffee grinder. Because, seriously, like, first of all, let's get one thing straight. I can't have normal coffee. So when I say grind my beans, they're espresso beans. And they need to be super fine to go in the thing, to pack the stuff, to go in the dinger. So that's what I'm doing. I can't have regular coffee. It gives me like an instant headache. If I have 2 sips of regular coffee, headache. It's always been that way. I hate it. I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing. So I have to have espresso drinks. So I usually make like a macchiato, caramel macchiato, or a white chocolate mocha. Fairly easy to make. Serenity, that's okay. I mean, if you want eventful, I would assume you'd go out and get it, but, you know, you don't need to get eventful stuff. Yeah, what Kristen said, are you feeling better? Okay, so she wants tones on this. Maybe I should do ink. I'll do ink. But that means I need a pencil, and that means I need to find one. Here we go. Here we go. I have all these supplies in front of me that I planned on using, and of course I decide to use the one I don't have in front of me. Isn't that just the thing? Isn't that what happens all the time? That's the thing. Maybe I'll use some really soft lead. So I bought one of these, like phone wallets. Some people hate them. I love them. But, it's like, you know, the front part, I spent probably a good hour searching for a good phone wallet. So I got exactly what I wanted. The first part of it is like your phone has a thing on the back. It's a magnet. So this case actually has a magnet in it, and it magnets to the wallet. And then you can easily pick it up out of the wallet whenever you want, but it stays in there. It's really nice. But the back of the wallet is like a purse, but it's not a big purse. So I bought a sketchbook and these cute little mechanical pencils that are like the size of a finger, and I can put them in there. So you would think my purse has cash in it and all this stuff. Nope, it's got a sketchbook. I'm that guy, but it's okay. I'm admittedly that guy, and I guess happily that guy. Whatever. Could be allergies, Serenity. It's that time, you know. What?
100%.
Yeah, Gabe's been dying, basically. She likes bears, but I always draw very cute bears. Should I feel bad about drawing really cute bears? I'll make it a really stupid cute bear. But I'm gonna give him little ears, actually. Let's do little ears. Otherwise, he's gonna look like an infant. I always love the ears on bears that are like little floppy things. Yeah, there we go. Yay, Denegula! Denegla? Am I saying that right? Oh, how you doing, man? I finally remembered to post that I was streaming on Twitter. I always forget to do that. So we're doing ATCs today, which stands for Artist Trading Cards, and that is a thing that people make. A lot of people don't know about them. I didn't even know about them until I met Gabe, and like we started, like he's been doing them for years. But I started doing them a while ago, but I never did anything with them on my Patreon. So now I have a Patreon tier that's for them, and so does Gabe. If you're more into Gabe stuff, he has his own. He basically copied my template, which I'm totally fine with because I think it's a pretty good template. So anyway, he's got them, I've got them. Chancho, you gonna lay down? How you doing, man? If anybody has anything they want to vent about, talk about, I am here for it. I'll draw this cute bear. I'm gonna give him a hat, I think, but I want it to be kind of a silly hat. Maybe it's more of like a beanie, or maybe a flat hat. I kind of dig flat hats. Maybe he's reading something that's like, oh no. Oh, hey, Greg. How you doing? Yeah, Serenity we are. The past 2 days, though, I've been too busy to kind of dig in and play, which is probably good. I feel like if I was one of those people that was playing all the time, I'd probably be at, like, the end of getting everything, and then I wouldn't want to play, so I've been logging into it to, do the daily things, because they made it kind of like a mobile game where the more consecutive days you log in, you get more stuff, right? So I've been doing that, but I haven't been as religious with it, which I think is keeping my love for it going. Because I'm trying not to binge things as bad nowadays. Oh my god, let's give him one of those off-the-shoulder tunics that's kind of tattered. Oh my god, I love those. They're so cute. I don't want to make it too much like... There we go. Maybe more in the middle. Denegla, how's your Moosey boy? How's Moose doing? Or Muscle Wolf, I think it was. Why are dogs called canine? Because if it were kitten, it'd be a small cat. Oh! I'm surprised I understood that so quickly. Wow! That's cute. Greg, I commend you. I haven't heard that one yet. Usually your puns and stuff, I've maybe heard 1 or 2 out of the 5 you tell me, but that one, I haven't heard that before. I'm proud of you. How are you, nerd? I'm okay, dude. I am okay. You know what, Tad? You deserve it, though. You're a hard worker. Do the thing. Play the stuff. Have fun. I read an article yesterday, and I know I say this all the damn time on my streams. I read an article. That's not... I do say it a lot. But I do read a lot of, like, random articles that I find online. But one was trying to, like, I guess, justify if any of us are a little bit maybe not as productive during this quarantine thing. Because I feel like you're basically either someone who's overly productive with it or not productive at all. I don't know. That's what it seems like looking at my social media and stuff. So, it was saying, you know, don't feel bad because you're having kind of a trauma response, basically. So, I mean, if you aren't as productive as normal, or you kind of zone out and stare off sometimes and you never used to do that, it could be part of, this trauma response that you're having to the whole situation that's happening here. Oh my god, I'm in love with this little guy. I mean, if people disappear because of the Final Fantasy VII remake, it makes total sense. You know, I mean that's people's childhoods. Let's be honest. So reliving that's important. I did see it was like the footage of the Turks finally, I think, if I remember, or was it Shinra? I can't remember anymore. Final Fantasy VII, admittedly, is not my favorite. My favorite is 9. That's probably obvious. So I don't remember much when I played it. Obviously, it was PS1. So, but, what's his name? Red-haired guy. Now it's leaving me. Well, the red-haired guy in the suit with the goggles. Totally. Reno? Is his name Reno? Reno. Yes. That's a win. I didn't like what they did with his hair. I feel like a jerk about that, but I don't know. That's fair, Tad. That's a good point. Yeah, 9, just nothing ever touched 9 again in terms of style and like the simple yet cute but somewhat realistic and just, oh my god, that was, in my opinion, Final Fantasy's like epitome. After that and after they made 10, I feel like everything that like succeeded it just was like medieval plus Final Fantasy X. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I just want the medieval. Bring me back to 9, you know? But no, it was always medieval with a hint of tech. But admittedly, Gabe and I kind of took a little time and maybe almost poked into Final Fantasy XIV a little bit in the past month. Just a little. Couple hours here and there. And I do really like it. It does feel like Final Fantasy IX in terms of style. And of course I'm a Lala. And my Lala is so cute. And anyway, I'm not going to be playing a lot or anything like that. I might not even get that. I'm still on the trial, okay? Still on the trial. But then Animal Crossing came along, knocked me off that trail, whatever. Oh, really, Serenity? I played 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-2. Oh my god, came at a terrible time where I was so done with just sexualized everything in video games because I was going into the game industry. So when that came along, I was so mad. So I just swore off Square stuff for a while. I was like, no, this pisses me off. This is just a cash grab. Like turning Yuna, like a priestess, into like a gun-toting hot chick. I was so mad. Anyway, so I didn't do that anymore. But I hadn't played 6 or anything before it. Gabe says that I'd really like Crystal Chronicles. I own it. I still have yet to play it. And Tactics, I can't. I know it's like the best one, but I can't because I don't like Tactics games. I'm sorry. I don't. Oh, really, Tad? 15. Oh my god. I completely forgot about 15. That was the one with the dudes in the car, right? Like almost the boy band scenario? Oh my god, how did I forget that? Wow. Cindy was the mechanic, right? Yeah, it's a bro game. See, oh, it's so weird. It's so weird that Final Fantasy, like, has all these, like, it's all these flowery things, but at the heart, it's also very machismo, somehow. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it's both. It's so weird. 3 on the DS. I tried to play 3. I don't remember ever finishing it. Yeah, Serenity. I could see you actually playing 14 just because of the Guild Wars thing. Yeah, and the overacting. I feel you, Pylon. It's a little silly. Should he be sitting on like a little leaf pile? Let's do a little leaf pile. Why not? I mean, if you're a bear and you've got a book nook, you're gonna sit on some leaves. Let's be honest. Maybe he's got a bee. You guys know me, I always need to fit in my bees. So maybe the bee is looking too. I like my simple bees. He almost looks like an emblem there. Hold on, I gotta get rid of that. I don't want him to look like he's part of the hat. Goddamn tangent lines. There we go. Okay, so for those that are coming in now, I'll explain the banner at the bottom again real quick. So some of you know I opened up ATCs as a tier on my Patreon. It's called the Devoted Dandelion tier. And every month you get an ATC either toned or colored at 20 or 30 bucks. Well, people seem to like that. And on the last stream and on Gabe's stream too, there were people asking if we could do them on the stream or if they could get them. So I was like, yeah, we could do that. I'm going to make it a little bit more expensive than my patrons would be getting it. And you can't do it more than like once every 2 months, basically. So then you're not getting it monthly. So my patrons still get, you know, priority and a deal, obviously. But if you want me to do an ATC on the stream, you can just PayPal me and I'll do it here, now, whatever. And we'll do it that way. So it's a quick draw, we call it. And it's a live thing. So if you're interested in that, let me know and we'll go from there. But otherwise, I'm doing the patron ones right now. At least the patrons I know that won't show up on the stream because I don't want to spoil the surprise. Yeah, so this is for one of them. Which was kind of interesting because I was like, man, how am I going to stream any of these? Everybody usually, like, you know, is super in tune to the internet and everybody, like, is, you know, on Instagram and stuff, but I've got maybe 4 or 5 patrons that are kind of unplugged. So that makes it kind of nice for me that I get to work on these that way. And you guys get to see them, and I don't know, they're fun. I always have a bad habit when I'm drawing, like, the same thing a bunch of times that I almost draw it like the exact same next to each other and stuff, so I have to make sure I'm staggering things. My brain sometimes doesn't want to do that. Oh, MMOs do not require you to talk to people at all. Every MMO I've played, I've either done it alone or with a friend, and we don't talk to anybody. We never really played PvP, so it was basically like a campaign that you saw real life players running around and you're like, oh cool, other people. But man, I never got into raiding. I never had the ambition to raid, ever. Like, it always just seemed like a pain in the ass, so I never did it. But like when I was hardcore into Warcraft, I was just having fun going through the storyline like it was a one-player game. But like I said, every once in a while you'd see someone real life walking through the world. I'm like, whatever. So you don't need to, you know. Oh, dude, Banner Saga's on Steam. I actually downloaded that. I haven't played it yet, but shit, it's tactics? I didn't know that. But yeah, the art was what got me. Like, I saw some of the art from Banner Saga, and I was like, oh my god, I need to go check this out. And then I got the game. Again, I never actually opened it or played it or whatever, but... yeah, with any MMO chat, I just... no. No, thank you. Usually it's people complaining or saying stupid crap. It's like, I don't need that. I really like drawing simple leaves sometimes. It's just nice. Big rounded things. Cute kids like art. It's like I could draw more serious art. I used to. And it just wasn't fun. I like things that are fun or cute. You know, take your mind off BS of the world, that sort of crap. And it sucks because it feels like my likes, because I don't like to draw things that are super serious or like intricate, beautiful, realistic, what have you, that my likes are actually what have hindered me in the illustration world. Which is interesting because I've said this before, but the illustration world isn't exactly where I want to be. It's more a place to be now until I get the other world that I want to be up to par, but that takes a while. Oh, really, Pylon? That's awesome, though. At least you're the first person since I bought it that was like, yeah, Banner Saga, go play it. You know, that I liked it. Everybody else I knew just downloaded it, and I never heard anything again. So I'm glad to hear from you that it was good. So here's a 3. Where's my... an 8? I didn't want an 8. What is this doing here? No. Yeah, 5. There we go. Politics. Wow. I could see that, actually. Because I mean, from my own experience, everybody I know that's super hard into Star Trek, like major Trekkies, they're really smart. A lot of them. Like, I don't know anyone that likes Star Trek that isn't like some sort of science, math-based person analytics. I don't know. So I guess that makes sense. Oh my god, Gabe, have you been watching Star Trek? Do you know how to talk to Trekkies now? Also, why is this so... Also, you guys, I guess Gabe's here at Cool. Gotta stop talking about him. Reading bear. Reading bear. Gabe, do you have all the dogs in there with you? Or do I have a few out here? Galactica. Ugh. Just Bruni. Oh. I can't see the other ones and they're not making noise, so I'm gonna assume they're asleep or dead. Probably asleep. Oh, thank you, Mr. Miller Art. How are you? Welcome. This is for one of my patrons. One of my devoted dandelions. Little fuzzy bee. Bear reading a book. It's really weird. The weather today, it's been super cold. Like it was 39 today here. But yesterday it was like 70. So, it reminds me of my Minnesota weather. Minnesota, I remember one June we had like snow one night and then the next day we were playing outside with like a hose because it was so warm out. It was really weird. It was a June. Yeah, I would think that that's kind of been Star Trek's thing. Like, haven't they always kind of been like that? Oh, really, May Fox? You do? Okay. So, my new rule, though, with it is that if you get one now, you can't get another one on stream for, like 2 months. Just because, you know, I don't want my, patrons to be getting kind of screwed. So we can do it tonight, but you gotta make sure it's what you want for a while. Gabe and I might do a bigger quick draw at some point if there's another holiday coming up because we missed the past two. So we usually do big quick draws, like bigger pieces like 5x7s and stuff on holidays. But yeah, Mayfox, if you want to do it now, we can do it now. Before you commit to it, get together a little list of like, you know, your likes and stuff, and I'll kind of pick what to draw you based off that, like I do for my Patreon. I was planning on using a 005 on this, but I don't think we're going to get there. I think I'm just going to use this 3 the whole way through. I have one fear when I'm inking, that my hand is just gonna like glitch out and just go across the entire thing. I have that constantly when I'm inking. Yep, so an artist trading card is basically like they fit in trading card, collectible card game size slots and stuff. It's kind of an underground artist thing where people collect a lot of originals from artists because, they're really easy for artists to do most of the time. They're original art, which people are starting to value more over prints and stuff. And they're affordable, which is the biggest draw, I think, of them. Draw. But yeah, they're really fun for us to do too, because there are some artists that like to spend hundreds of hours on a piece, and then there are other artists that like to just kind of get out ideas and do quick things and what have you. But I'm the latter, definitely. I enjoy getting out more ideas and having more content and stories than I do having just like one or two big like pieces. So the ATC realm really fit for me. They're also known as sketch cards, I guess, but I think sketch cards, when you hear it, are normally more associated with comics, because sketch cards are known in there to be more comic centric. So ATC, if you search that on a hashtag, or ACEO, I forget what that one stands for. Gabe, you can help me out if you want to. But yeah, so these were the ones I did on a stream or two ago. I got a happy frog, and I got a kitty that's in some peonies. So these are all for patrons. What happens on my Patreon under the Devoted Dandelion tier is my patron will give me a huge list of all their likes, favorites, interests, things like that. And when it's time for me that month to make their card, I'll read over it and I'll be like, oh, well, that would be fun to do. I could do this. I feel like drawing this today, So based on my feelings and kind of what you've told me about what you like, I kind of do an amalgamation of the two, and I, do artwork based off that. So you're always guaranteed to get something you like because it's based off your interests, but at the same time, it's still a surprise. So it's like a commission, but not, if that makes sense. Editions and gotcha. Thank you, Gabe. Heather, thank you for the raid. How are you? How have you been? Thank you, Miller. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, Mayfox, that's basically all Gabe used to do. I'm doing good. It's a nice Saturday. The beginning of it was a little weird. You guys ever have those days where your mood's all over the place, but there's no real reason for it? You can't really pinpoint, well, I'm mad because of this, or blah, 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 blah. I think for women, most of the time, it's PMS, but guys get it too. So it's just interesting when that happens, just because it's you're just all over the place. It's well, why? I don't know, I'm just mad. Blah, blah, blah. It started off like that. Now it's okay. God, these leaves just keep getting fatter and fatter. Damn. So this patron mentioned that they like bears and they like books. So I'm having a bear reading. I thought it'd be cute. We'll put his little toe beans in there. Everybody like toe beans. Curious how people talk about their plans for the weekend nowadays. I guess it's just mainly housework or hobbies that you're starting or things like that, huh? It's not like you can say, yeah, I'm going up to the blah blah for the weekend and going to the casino, or I don't know what people do. Going up to the cabin. I guess you could still go to the cabin. Actually, that would be cool. I could see people doing that. Going up north. Constantly. Yeah, so if you guys are having those moods a lot more lately, don't feel bad, because apparently that's normal. It's like a trauma response, I learned, at least from an educational article I was reading. So if your mood is all over the place, apparently that has to even do with grieving of a sort. Like it's considered grief, and it's part of your response to this whole pandemic thing. I keep wanting to say epidemic, but that's different. I came to the realization yesterday too that, like, if government buildings are closed, people can't get married. People can't get divorced. People are stuck at home with each other, and you can't do either of these things. Like, that's gonna change the world a bit. That's crazy. Like, what do people do about if they have to go to the DMV? I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's why you mentioned the DMV the other day, Gabe. I didn't put that together. Oh, really? Mail-in marriage? That's good. I didn't know that. Why are the small towns upset? People are going to their vacation homes. As long as they're not going near anybody, that's okay, right? Why is that bad? I mean, if you got it, and you pay for it, you might as well use it, I guess. I don't know. I do not have, nor will ever have, nor have ever had a vacation home. So I am not biased in any way, because I do not have one, nor have I. I guess these are the equivalent to, like, pen pal letters, but they're drawings? Actually, it's a good way, I guess, to explain it. Now I'll use the 005. Oh, I see. Interesting. Gabe, that's a really good point. I'm mad I didn't think of that. I see. So just travel in general. That makes sense. Well, I hope if they are doing it, they're not being idiots about it. But yeah, Mayfox, if you want to do it, just PayPal me the 25 or 30. 25 if you want toned, 30 if you want color. I'll do that for you. Talked to a guy that works for the CDC. I think it was last night or today, and apparently they're doing okay. Like, anybody who works for the CDC is pretty well off right now, so I guess good for them. Oh, thank you, Miller. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's coming up shortly. I'm gonna do that in a second. Just want to get in these last details. So I say tones too because I'm not doing grayscale. It's like sepia tones. So it's like monotone. But sometimes I'll put in like a color if I feel like it. So like on this owl, he's got some green or a tinged green, but for the most part it's just toned. Oh, you did, May Fox? Sorry, my phone did not tell me. Well, it still hasn't told me. You did friends and family, right? There it is. Okay. Alright. So, May Fox, give me a little chunky paragraph of all your likes and interests and stuff, and I'll kind of pick something out of there. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish this burr. Do you? That's great. That's a really good way to learn. I'm usually on Saturdays. If it's not a Saturday and I'm on, I probably don't have my camera on, but I'm probably working on work stuff, because normally I'm doing pet portraits. That's kind of my job. I'll bring up the one I'm working on currently again because I like it and I'm having fun with it. I do one probably every 2 to 3 days, depending, but... So this is Boba. Boba is a bully. And I myself have an English bulldog, so this one's not very far along so far. But he's going to end up being a paladin because I did my paw reading, I call it. I translate pets' personalities into D&D and RPG classes that suit them. So I have people tell me all about their pets, and I do a paw reading, and I figure out what they'd be based on that. Because sometimes for owners, you know, your pet is pretty multifaceted. You know, they have so many things about them that one day they're a bard, the next day they're, you know, a mage. It all depends. So when you tell someone else, i.e. me, you know, I've done this so many times I can kind of pick out what they are at their essence, and then I do them based off that. So if anybody is interested in seeing what those look like, that should take you there. I haven't used that link in a long time, but let me double check real quick. I don't want to send you to some crazy place on the internet. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So there's a bunch in there. I have 2 books full of them. I've done probably a little more than 400 at this point. It's been a thing. Okay, so you want toned. Extra $1. Oh man, why? Oh, you want color? Yeah, I can do color, May Fox. Okay, so let's see. Tees, skulls, cats, D&D. Oh, thank you for the follow, Fairy. That had good alliteration too. Batman, D&D, pufferfish. Oh, pufferfish. Oh, I just thought of a really surreal one of like a pufferfish as a balloon carrying like a teacup that was filled with plants. I don't know, that one might be too weird. Like a little hot air balloon teacup pufferfish thing. Anyway, I can think of something more grounded, I guess. Unless you like that, you let me know. Thank you, Miller. I appreciate that. Okay, let's do okay. I don't care how many times I do it. I always need to like test swatches to know. Like even if I have a swatch sheet, it doesn't matter. It's like I need to test my markers before I use them. Oh, Miller, thanks for the follow, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's do a couple tones. Let's do that. I love that one. Oh, that's a good bear color too. Nah, let's do these two. I think. Yeah, that should be fine. Elf sister. Yeah, man. Rock on. I'm not usually wearing my glasses on my streams. Because, man, I think they age me pretty hard. I look like a serious elf grandma. For reals. I mean, as much as I can't wait to be, like, old, I don't want to be right now. But it's more funny, I guess, than anything. I don't want him to have... There we go. We'll do that. So I'm gonna make his cheeks white. If my head ever gets in the frame, oh my god, yell at me. I do that a lot. I lean over my pieces quite a bit. Thank you. And thank you for saying skilled. I am very floored that you said that instead of talented, and that makes me giddy. Because, I mean, I know people say, you know, when they say you're very talented, it's like, oh, thank you. You know, it's nice, but when you say skilled, it's like you acknowledge that I spent a lot of time to hone my skills. And I don't know, I usually take people saying you're skilled as like a bigger compliment typically, because talented, it sounds like you were just given this gift and you're using it instead of you made the gift, basically. But thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Nathalia, thank you for the follow. Welcome. I'll put in my socials. That reminds me, thank you, Miller, to put in my socials when I get new people. Throw in your socials. So I would say I'm a mixed media artist, but primarily I use marker, colored pencil, and pastel pencils. For all those portraits you see on my Instagram, those are all marker, pastel, and colored pencil. And on my Patreon, I'm going to start throwing up a lot more of my my process pieces, so you can see kind of, you know, all the in-between stuff with those. Speaking of time-lapse, I haven't even put this up yet, but I uploaded a new time-lapse on YouTube yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I haven't even told anybody. I just threw it up there and walked away. I do that. Here we go. It's a little janky, just in terms of like, my camera did this weird thing halfway through, so I had to crop it like a lot more narrow than I would normally, but here's the time lapse, so you can kind of see how I go about it. This is, are you talking about this one, Fairy? This one or this one? Because honestly, they're both different. I can explain that in a minute too. Oh, that's cute, Alex. I love your relationship with your niece. It's so cute. May Fox, what'd you think of the idea I had? I know it's kind of crazy, but I thought you might, I don't know, you might dig it. The last one. This one? So this is a alcohol-based Prismacolor. These are in the US. They're not anywhere else really in the world, which we found out. They're not like Copics. Copics are everywhere, but apparently these are only in the US. I went to England and asked for these, and they laughed at me because apparently they think they're, I don't know, not as good as Copics, but they're fine. They're just a little cheaper. But anyway, they're alcohol-based. Let me see if I can find a piece of paper to show it. So there's a difference between alcohol-based and water-based, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'll just bring this up. Okay. So. Yeah, teacup air balloon pufferfish. It's tiny plant in teacup. Tell me if you don't like that. If you don't, I'll figure out a new one. So anyway, oh, you're welcome. God, okay. I'm not gonna remember. It's not Neil. Is it Neil? I forgot your name, homie. Matt? Mark. Mark. Your name is Mark, yeah? Dennis! Fuck. Sorry, Dennis. Oh, I'm glad you like it. You guys should go follow World's Most Okayest DM. He has a awesome Patreon and podcast that has to revolve around D&D, and it's funny, and they're awesome. And they have really cool rewards that I got to be a part of, so you should check them out. Okay, so this is an alcohol-based marker. So it does look like it's got gradients because it's a brush tip. Now make sure if you get markers, if you want this sort of gradation, that you're going to get a brush tip, because you have to learn how to do the flicking motion, right? And that's going to give you that gradient that you want. Oh yeah, Gabe knows you too. Gabe did a thing for you as well. So the thing too about alcohol markers, and I'll show you over here. Give it a minute to dry and you'll see what happens. So this was, oh my god, that is not the right, what the heck. Alcohol, and then water. So here's a water base. Okay, and then water is kind of the same thing. They're a little bit harder to get the gradation on, but what happens with the water base is you can use water a lot of the time to actually spread it. So I did a whole story using one of these water-based markers. So you can kind of blend it with water. Oh, I'm not using the right paper for this. Anyway, you can use water to blend it. But the difference is, with alcohol markers, they're revered because they're consistent. Hi, Nightshade! So if you go over this again, it looks like it's darker, but when it dries, it won't be darker. It'll be the same color. But with the water base, it acts like a multiply brush in Photoshop. So if you keep layering and layering and layering the color on it and letting it dry, it's going to get darker, right? So this can be helpful in a lot of situations where you might want to do, like, say, cell shading, right? If you're cell shading, you could use a water-based marker, put down that first color, wait for it to dry, and then go over it again in the shadow areas, and it'll just make that color darker there. Whereas over here, this is not going to get any darker. This is just going to stay the same. So, yes, water-based, watercolors, same thing. But the alcohol ones, not the same deal. And if you end up using both on a piece, make sure that you use the alcohol markers second, because you don't want to put down an alcohol marker and then a water marker, because then the water in the marker is going to push all the alcohol and you're going to get weird results, like separation and all these weird things. So anyway, there you go. Murder bear, yes. Oh, and you did to the oh, thank you. I think we got some people off that. I appreciate that. Did they like it? Did they like both of ours? hit us up anytime if you want more of those, because those, I mean, we're doing that kind of stuff anyway, you know, why not? Yeah, so Fairy, what we usually say, because I'm Marker and Gabe is Galvasaur, by the way, who's in my chat. He's my mod. And so much more. But we say if you don't mind carrying around a lot of things, but you want something that's fast and you're impatient, markers are good. But if you want something more compact to carry around with a lot of color options, and you don't mind waiting for something to dry, watercolors. So usually one or two of those like appeal to different personality types. So if you're impatient and you're okay with carrying around a bunch of stuff, markers. If you're patient but you want a lot of colors in something small, watercolors. But yeah, anyway. I think Gabe means putting it on our socials, because we could pimp you in your podcast, but we'd have to show it to people, and we haven't done that, you know, out of respect for you having something exclusive, you know. Less Starbucks in the house. I hate how true that is, Gabe. Oh, what did you say, Mayfox? Did you reply to that? It's imaginative. Yeah, it's surreal though. I don't know how much you want something surreal versus something realistic. And since you're here, Mayfox, and you paid for it, you can, you know, you can kind of sway it one way or the other. So let me know. Nightshade, you never answered me on Facebook. What's the deal? Go for it. Okay. Do you like really Victorian teacups, Mayfox? What kind of teacups do you like? Or do you want me to do one of my wood teacups? It's up to you. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you, Dennis. That's awesome of you. Well, likewise, we'll do the same for you. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of this in here. So I don't want an exact green. So here's where I'm using a watercolor marker with some alcohol markers, but I'm not gonna put them on each other, so I should be okay. But you'll see in a minute how I shade the clothing here, so that you can get a darker tone on that. Because with the yellow, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to have to actually shade the yellow with a different color. But this green will work really well for all the foliage and the clothing, because then I can just kind of layer on my dark spots. But yeah, like when Gabe and I got into the ATC thing, we were collecting ATCs from people and putting them in like binders with baseball card sleeves and things. And it was just really cool to have all this original art in like your own little art book you've made. So it's pretty cool if you get into it. And our friend Pabkins actually runs like an ATC swap, which you don't get any money for it, but it's cool to just get something monthly from someone random. Like, she's been running it for years. She's really cool. She does a lot of work for like no money. She's a trooper. She does it for the art, man. Total art hippie. God, this is really orange. Hold on. See if I can get this closer to what it looks like. Yeah, it's kind of there. Yeah, that's actually really accurate. No! Nightshade, wait. the list. When did you do that? No, you had asked me about, like, I always seem like I'm up. Did you send me a list from both you guys? You didn't send me a list, did you? No, we were talking about when I go to sleep and wake up. Yeah, so these are just my preferred paper. I just cut them to size. I wouldn't waste the money of having them cut it for you. Just invest in like a $20 guillotine. They're like this big. And that'll go quite a ways for you. I've had the same $20 guillotine for 6 or 7 years now. It's a purple cow. Its brand is called. I got it at a Dick Blick, but yeah, it was like $20. The little one won't work though if he's got like 8 by 11 sheets. He needs something bigger. So I would say you're gonna get more mileage and more versatility out of the big one. It's not the big one. We have one downstairs that's like 2 feet by 2 feet. No, this is like a foot by a foot. They do have little ones that Gabe's saying, but I don't want you to get that because you have to cut the paper down to use it. So, anyway. But yeah, I would get a small guillotine first. And then, yeah, cut your own paper. Because a lot of the time you're paying them extra for them to have cut your paper. And it's like, you can cut your paper. It's part of the fun. Plus, you get exactly, the type of paper you want. A lot of the sketch cards they've got at size are not good paper. So, definitely pick out the paper you want that you're comfortable with, and you're going to get more out of it that way. Yeah, no, Nightshade, if you're cool getting them whenever, then I'm cool doing it whenever. I'd rather you guys have the time to think about what you want on it, but I also don't want you to forget. So, as long as you're doing it, cool. So the only tricky thing with these water markers a lot of the time is you have to have them touching your previous mark and be going along, similar to watercolors. Otherwise you could get a line or a striation. Like that might end up being a line. But we'll see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, if you've already got it, then you're good. That should work fine, Miller. But I definitely say or recommend to use paper that you want to use. Like I said, some art supplies are so dumb because they really try to get you. Because, they can cut it down and all that. Thank you, Fairy. You're so sweet. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you like my art. Also, for anyone that's new here, I do a lot of fantasy art, but I also do some storytelling. And if you're interested in it's like a subscription storytelling box every month I send to people. It's on my Patreon. And I like to pitch it as if Studio Ghibli and Pokemon had a baby with zoo books. But the zoo books kind of gets lost on people sometimes because I'm a little older and not everybody knows what zoo books are. Anyway, zoo books were a monthly subscription-based service that would send you a different animal every month. So you could learn about zebras and all this sort of stuff. But mine are a little bit special. They're called Monthly Mythical Guardians. And I hope that link works. That should give you a little bit of a background on them. Let me double check that link works. I was just working on my site the other day, so I want to make sure it's still... Oh my god, are you serious right now? It's so funny, sometimes my computer has like a stutter issue. Yeah, that worked. All right, so that should give you a little bit of background on what these are and what you get and blah, 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 blah. This month, stretch. These were this month. These guys. There are 3 of the 4 elementals that I have written a backstory of my own for. So, it's kind of fun because it's like, I don't know. It's not like a mainstream thing. It's like a little indie project that I do monthly. So you can get a bunch of these from my website or you can get on my Patreon. I have a bunch of fun things on my Patreon, I like to think. Yeah. Oh, Dennis, I don't know. Even if it was still on, do you think a lot of people would go? Because I don't think anybody would want to risk it. That's the problem with the cons later in the year. Like, I applied to New York Comic Con again, and I've gone in past years, but I really don't think it's going to happen just based on, you know, even if this whole thing kind of blows over, I think people are going to be super hesitant and apprehensive for, like, at least another year. And a lot of the things I was reading, they were like, yeah, this is going to go on for like 18 months. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, for those of us who depend on conventions and, you know, stuff like that for income, I mean, we've had to scramble to find new sources of income. So I assume by then we'll kind of be used to it, but it just kind of sucks. Exactly, Tad, yeah. And I mean, think all of the people who are unemployed right now or who are becoming unemployed. They're not going to have money to spend at frivolous things like that, you know? I use frivolous lately. Just non-essential things, like, I guess, entertainment, you know? So I think the world's just going to be in a really delicate, fragile spot for a while. Even if cons come back, like, San Diego Comic-Con is still saying they're gonna be doing their thing, and that's in July? It's like, bro, no, you're not. You are not gonna be doing anything in July. Are you kidding me? July? No. Oh my God. It's just ridiculous. And even the fans are telling San Diego, like, don't do this. There are some people that will go, but you guys, don't do this. Like, you have the ability to stop it. Don't let that happen. Oh, Greg's hitting on you again, Gabe. How often Dennis, do you ever do, like, YouTube videos or anything along the lines of, like, mentorships for people? Because maybe you could take that online. Because a lot of our convention crew has had to switch to anything they're doing convention-wise to start doing things online. Because the world may be super digital for a while now. So like me, I added another tier on my Patreon to kind of make up for, you know, losing the con money. You know, it's been an interesting month. It's only been a month. That's crazy. But yeah, I think it's gonna last a while, so we gotta kind of figure out different ways around it, really. Now I'm just gonna put in some tones and some highlights using my brown colored pencil and a white colored pencil. God, this bear is making my day. I can't not draw fat bears. You gotta draw fat bears, you guys. You just gotta. There, that's more accurate. Oh, Mayfox, you can charge so much more for those. Your patches are awesome. You could do like $10 to $15. At least. I love it though, Greg. I love it. Yeah, Serenity, I wouldn't bet on it. Well, if you're thinking about either Twitch or YouTube to start off with, I would do Twitch because a lot of your demographic is here. And you can start making money right away using Twitch. As soon as you get affiliate, once you make affiliate, you can start getting bits and donations, and it doesn't take much. Getting partner takes, they almost made it basically impossible now. You can't really get partner unless you're the guy with like hundreds of thousands of followers somewhere else. Partner's really difficult, but affiliate, they make it pretty easy. So if you start streaming, I assume like if you had a regular schedule, maybe within a month or two, you could have it, and then you can start getting bits and donations. For YouTube, it's really difficult. It's basically the same as getting partner here. YouTube, to start making money at all, you have to have at least 1,000 followers. And then they'll be like, oh, you get, to monetize now. So, I don't know. What I've been doing over time is just forwarding a lot of my Twitch streams to YouTube, and I got like 100 followers without even doing anything. So that's an option, But oh, well, at least you got that, Tad. That's not too bad. You got another year at least to prepare for those books and cons. Maybe you can get out another book in the meantime. I've got this annoying optimism that it's like I either have really dark humor or super annoying optimism about it. So it's a really weird mix. So if I'm like, hey, you can still do this, you can make another book, you can do all these things. I'm sorry. It's a defense mechanism, I think. Yeah, but I like editing videos, Miller. Like, I want to get back onto YouTube, like, hardcore. I want to do my animations. I want to make, because, I start the stream with this, and I've got my character, and I'm really not doing her justice right now, but I have a lot of little animations and things I want to do, and, like, little punchy, like, things that are in addition to me explaining things to people. I was going to start doing short, like 30-second tutorial things. I'm still going to do it. I just have to find time to do it. And I'm going to do those for YouTube. But I want to get on YouTube. It's just such a time sink. And when you need to make money and you're doing something that doesn't make money, it's hard to even justify that, Oh, okay. Gotcha, May Fox. That makes sense. That's sweet of you to do that for students. You can do it, man. Put out the book. Do the thing. Just do a little bit of it every day. You'll be surprised in a month how much you've got. I think part of the key to getting something done and having your head down in a month is basically keep your head down. Like, don't look up and see how much you've gotten done. I combined that word, gotten done, gone. Because you might get discouraged depending on where you're at in the process, but if you keep your head down and look back up after a month, you'll be pretty happy at what you've accomplished, I think. Alright, I think he's almost done. I'm going to do a little white halo around him, but I'm going to use my pastel. Nope, that's not going to happen. That's buried. This is more dark than this now. Oh, that's actually okay. Right, Fairy? You get me. Like, I don't have hobbies anymore because I don't have time for anything that isn't work. So, my goal this year was to get back time to do my hobbies because, art is kind of a hobby, but now it's my main squeeze, and because of that, I like to do things that are unrelated to art sometimes. And that's healthy. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to have time to do those things, So, anyway. It's tough. So I do have one more spot left on my Patreon for anybody who's not a patron already to get these monthly. One spot. I might open it up later to have more, but right now with my workload, I can only afford to have one more spot. Because I want to make sure I have time for everyone's stuff. And then I'm going to add some gold and we're going to be done. Oh, I feel ya. Yeah, exactly. Serenity, that's where everyone is at. It's like, since everybody's hurting, and this was the thing I noticed when a lot of my artist friends were kind of freaking out and they were like, oh my god, we have to, you know, start marketing really hard to people and blah, 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 blah. The first thing I thought of was just, no one's got money. Like, everyone's gonna be in a hard spot. So, like, even if we need money, you know, appealing to the masses and being like, hey, you know, get commissions for me and this, that, or the other thing, that's not gonna work. Because everybody's hurting. You know, everybody doesn't have money. But I kind of find comfort in that, I guess, that we're all here together and it's kind of beautiful. I don't know, it's dark beautiful, I guess. This is that side of me with the dark humor, optimism, whatever. Oh, that is an 8. No, not that. So yeah, I'll put some gold accents in these sometimes. You can see it's like a little bit of gold, a little bit of nice. All right, and then we're gonna do yours, Mayfox. Yeah, it's hard to make money when no one's got money. Then again, there are some people who are doing really good right now who work for, like, you know, the CDC and stuff. They're doing alright. Which they should be, you know. They're working pretty hard to get things out. Alright, there we go. Reading Bear. I'm gonna start signing these on the back too, I think. I'll put down the date. So this, oh, it's 4/4. You guys, that's crazy. I don't know why I didn't realize that earlier. So, here were the other ones. So I'm gonna have probably about close to 20 of these to send out by the end of the month, because I had so many people join at the end of last month that yeah, I have to do basically two for everybody. All right, the bee's so cute. Thank you. I love my bees. All right, Mayfox, your turn. And you wanted color. And you want me to try that one thing. Let me look at your list again. I want to make sure that there's not a better option. When you say pufferfish, you basically mean a blowfish, right? It's like the same thing, I think. Mint plants. Oh, I read that as mini plants. Strawberries. Skulls. Alright, if you don't want the pufferfish balloon, which is really strange, we could go a skull, a cat skull if you want, with some mint leaves coming out of the skull. How do you think about that? Sending out Patreon. I don't know, Dennis. I think if you can mail them out, it'd be better. I've still been doing my Patreon stuff, and the cards will be like 20 packages, but my usual Curious Collector tier, that's usually around 50 packages every month. So it's basically like I'm running a Kickstarter. But I still take those to the post office. What you can do is the post office like can give you one of those post office totes, right? And you can, I usually wear gloves when I get it. I grab it from them, I bring it home, I wipe it down with like a Clorox wipe, and then I just put all my stuff in there. And then it's nice because then you just take it back to them and hand it to them and grab a new one. And it's super hands off, like for the most part. So if you want to go in there and grab like 2 totes, you just ask them for them. They just give them to you. It's a really nice way to go about it because then you don't have to like stand there and touch stuff for a while. And I know a lot of people are scared to death of the post office, but if you can just wear gloves and whatever. You like the skull idea? Awesome. Okay. What skull do you want? Do you want a bird skull, cat skull? What kind of skull, honey? What kind of skull you want? Oh, it's quarterly. Oh, that's good. It's quarterly. That saves you some time in doing stuff. Well, the various sizes is fine. You can grab like 3 totes. Honestly, they give them out to you because it makes their job easier. So if you go in there and you want like 3 or 4 totes for all these packages, they'll give them to you if they have them. Bird skull? Okie dokie. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's do that. Does mint have a flower, or is it just mint leaves? It's a plant, right? It's not really a flower? Oh yeah, I really like those leaves. Oh, that's cool. They all come out of the same central place. It doesn't really look like they have a flower. Korean mint has a flower, apparently. Do you want a flower included, or do you just want the leaves? I'll do whatever you want. God, these leaves are so cute. Okay, let's do that. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, so many types of bird skull. Do you want like a hawk? Do you want a chickadee? Do you want something with a long beak? Or do you want something that's kind of basic bird skull? Because I can totally do basic bird skull. Whatever you want. I'll send this with your April Curious Collector stuff. Fine with me picking? Okay. I asked this on my Patreon, but I want to ask you guys too. Have you learned a new hobby or anything while you've been in quarantine? Or, if not, give me the most fun or cool thing you've done while in quarantine. God, our neighbors are being super loud right now. I don't even know what they're doing. I also think doing quick art on streams is kind of a more fun thing to see for people. It's one thing to be working on like the same piece every stream for like a month. Like as a viewer, I wouldn't be able to stand that. As I previously stated, I'm pretty impatient when it comes to things, so I don't think I'd be able to handle that. But I don't know, when I see someone drawing something kind of quick and it's kind of cool, I'm into it. Like, I don't know, it's part of the reason that I like the artists I do. They're really good at it, you know? Sourdough starters, cute. Peebit! Thank you for the follow, I love your name. Oh my god, that's adorable. Blender. Oh wow, that's incredible. That is a lot of work. I actually went to school for 3D. Blender's a good program now. It didn't used to be. Blender used to be extremely hard to use. But no, that's awesome that you were able to do that. And it's sweet you do that for this show. That's so cool. I was very impressed with your production quality once I saw your Patreon. You guys are legit. Looks really good. You got a lot of patrons. I really like just your whole vibe of it. It's pretty cool. Feel free to drop a link to your stuff in here too, Dennis. So I usually get a lot of D&D folks with my stuff too, so feel free. Yeah, I like this. I like the mint. Yeah, the trick with Patreon is to start with one tier and then move up as you feel comfortable. Yeah, a few people I know were a little too ambitious like that, and they screwed themselves over. Because they added like 7 tiers to start, and now they're just scrambling every month. So I hope at least with yours they're fun to do and you're able to get them all out and done, you know. Mayfox, do you just want the mint and the skull? I guess what else was there? Tea, sewing, dinosaurs, strawberries. I guess I could throw in some strawberries. You did order a color one. Do you want some strawberries in here? It'll add some nice color pops, especially if we've got the green and the red. I try fairy. It's important as an artist to kind of be able to get down likenesses pretty quickly. And then depending on how much you like to render, you know. Oh yeah, there's room. I can fit in a couple strawberries. Strubers, as I like to call them. But yeah, getting down likenesses is extremely important. I think there's way too much emphasis on really like giant pieces, and like nowadays I feel like there's too much stress in the art world and pressure to do big, ornate, crazy pieces, and people forget you can be an artist just doing anything artistic, right? But also to just do little crappy drawings, do things like that. Like, Did we forget the 90s happened? Does anyone remember art in the 90s? I mean, you had MTV style art. You had really scratchy, raw comic book styles. You had Lisa Frank. What was that? Right? That's not Spectrum worthy, right? So there's so much other kinds of art out there that aren't the whole revered, almost Renaissance looking stuff. Don't forget to, kind of entertain other art styles and things, because that can absolutely help you even with your own, And I feel like a lot of artists also tend to feel pretty alienated if what they're into doesn't exactly reflect what's popular. And that doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean what you're into is not liked by other people or anything like that, because you have a demographic. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you use. Whatever your art style and art content are, whatever you do and like to do, there is a demographic for it. The key is finding it. And that's what can typically take a while. That's the grinding factor. And making art is actually just finding who your art is for, and making sure they see it. Oh, that's awesome. Dennis, I love that. So I also think every artist should have a Patreon and at least have the $1 tier. If nothing else, have a $1 tier. Because you think about having like 100 people at the $1 tier, that's $100. And I mean, if you're just offering maybe time lapses, device wallpapers, coloring pages, just anything, access to your Discord, like you can do so much at the $1 tier. And it's just, that can be your thing, it's okay. And there are some people that don't necessarily want anything a lot of times, they just want to support you. So having a $1 tier really opens up the possibility that they can do that, and you leave it wide open so they can even give you more too. So just because there's a specific dollar amount on a lot of tiers doesn't mean you can't add more. So sometimes people just want to support you and they'll just throw money on it. So never underestimate the $1 tier. It's pretty wonderful. Like my $1 tier, I give colorable calendar pages every month and device wallpapers, as well as process stuff, time lapses, things like that. And obviously access to my Discord, but that's a good thing. Oh, that's sweet, Miller. The medical outfits. Oh yeah, I suppose you just mainly have scrubs, lab coats. That's it. Maybe some overalls? I don't know. But yeah, never get discouraged or start comparing yourself to people, because that's going to really hurt your feelings. And it doesn't do you any good. Like, if you're a specific type of mindset, comparing yourself doesn't always fire you up. It might discourage you. So the best thing you can kind of do is just do what you do. And if you start getting down about, stuff someone else does, or like you see this is a thing, the sketchbook tours. I know a lot of people who watch those and then they just tear themselves apart, and they're like, man, my sketchbook doesn't look like that, blah, blah, blah. Your sketchbook isn't supposed to look like that. They're very much a one-of-a-kind type of person to be able to have a masterpiece on every page. Your sketchbook is supposed to be for ideas. It's supposed to be rough. It's supposed to be ugly. Your sketchbook is where you're visually working through ideas you have. It takes a long time for somebody to just be able to put things down on paper and have them make sense. For any budding artist, you really have to take time to work through how things get from here to here. You're not usually born with that ability. That's a skill that takes time. It's learning to speak in a different language, right? So you gotta give yourself a little bit of leeway, a little bit of compassion. Be nice to yourself. It's gonna take a while. You will not be able to take an art class and then be able to do a masterpiece the next day. And that kind of drives me a little bit crazy, in all honesty, about like people who offer art classes and mentorships and things. Sometimes, you know, it's just, you can't give a quick fix for people to just learn art. Some people may not have the drive or the motivation to be able to do it, because a lot of the time they'll be able to do it on their own, if that were the case. So it's tough. It's tough. A lot of the time when somebody takes like art classes and things, if they don't get anything out of it, it's because they weren't applying themselves everywhere anyway. Right? It's similar to school, like college, you know, things like that. People that don't really apply themselves and all that shtick. Same sort of thing. Let's see. See, here's the thing about that turned out well, too, Miller. This I had to learn the hard way. So there are drawings that you will do that you will think are, you know, the shit. You'll think they're the best drawings ever. And you'll post them and they won't get any traction. And then you'll maybe do a drawing that's so-so, and you post it and it blows up. And you do really well and people love it, and you're like, what the hell? Right? So the thing that's weird about social media is you can't ever really predict how people are going to perceive or receive your art. Your art is going to be, you know, received in so many different ways. So I usually tell people to start just posting everything. Get used to posting everything you do. You know, because I see Instagram as basically an interactive sketchbook, right? Where it's like a proving ground. You're proving that you're creating every day. When I worked at a game company and I was hiring people, their Instagram to me was proof that they were consistently creative and creating, you know, and they like to. It shows passion, right? And the people, though, that use it as like a gallery, or maybe they post once every 2 months, that's a harder call, because I would be more afraid that they can't, you know, work fast. This was when I was working at a game company. So I was, you know, I was looking at that very much as a telltale sign. And of course you can use your Instagram for however you want to use it, you know, what suits your needs. But I highly think that if you want to have something that's curated to your best work, you use a website. You get a website, you get your own domain that doesn't have Wix attached to it, okay? You want to look professional. And this is, you know, if you're going for certain types of jobs and things. But then you have full control over what people see, right? And Instagram should just be a place for you to connect with people and to, like I said, use as a proving ground to say, hey, you know, I'm doing this all the time, you know, and just to connect with people. And hopefully not get bent out of shape about, you know, oh my god, this person's doing this, oh my god. It's hard though, man. Every time I hear somebody's gonna start coming into the art world, I get really worried for them. I'll be 100% honest. Because it's just oversaturation like crazy. It's ridiculously competitive to a fault. Like, it's so hard. And I feel like the ones that make it have to have a certain mindset for, you know, dealing with certain things. Like if you go viral or what have you, it's a world, let me tell you. It's crazy. I think I'm in a nice little sweet spot, because I'm not by any means popular or famous, but I have a nice little fan base, and I like basically everyone that likes my stuff. They're great. They're nice supporters. They're good people. And I like cultivating that kind of a community, having good people that want to help each other, that want to grow. I think that's really important, especially nowadays. So, remember, success comes in all shapes and sizes. So, what you see success as somewhere else might not be someone else's view of success, There you go, May Fox. Doesn't that feel good? And yeah, Serenity, I feel you. It's crazy. So I just learned basically to, kind of objectively judge my art, knowing that it's kind of like Schrodinger's. Let's call it Schrodinger's drawing. Everyone loves it and everyone hates it at the same time. So what are you going to do? If that's completely the story, 100% of people love it, 100% of people hate it. Are you going to post it or are you not going to post it? Might as well post it, right? I don't know. I think that's a good way to think about it. Because it's either, if you do want to do the art thing, you got to start getting your stuff out there, getting used to it being out there, getting used to people talking to you and all that sort of junk. So you got to post it. Yeah, you're going to potentially have people steal it one day. That's just part of the deal. Once stuff has been stolen from you, you gotta just kind of be like, all right, they get that one, but they can't keep producing it like I do, So you kind of have to get on that level, which is a very difficult level to get on, admittedly. Somehow I had somebody posing to be me on Twitter, reposting all my stuff for like 6 months. And somebody had told me about it, like, way late into the game, and I was like, what the heck? It was weird, because they were just reposting my art, pretending they made it, but it still had, like, my signature on it and stuff, which was obviously not their, their screen name and everything. I don't know. It was ridiculous. I think it was a kid, because it was just so weird, But I had looked back, and yeah, they were just reposting my stuff from months back. So strange. So very strange. Oh, that's great, Dennis. I'm glad you got encouraged. There you go, Miller. There you go. See, that sounds like you have a hobby, a very healthy hobby that you just want to get good at. And that's fantastic. I keep reading things about people who don't see the value in hobbies anymore, or like if they can't make money off of something, why do it? No, hobbies are so important for so many reasons, especially for the fact that a lot of the time, things you learn from a hobby, you can utilize elsewhere, Like skills can be, transformative. They can go from one thing to another. It doesn't matter. And it took me a while to learn that too. When I left the gaming industry, I was like, oh my God, I just, threw away 10 years of my life if I'm not doing that anymore and I'm doing something different. But I had to learn that I didn't throw it away. I'm using it in different ways now. It's still skills I have. I still know how to use Unity. I can still understand a lot of, how to optimize for games on devices and things. I have that knowledge and I can use it if need be, but it comes into play other places too, So anyway, there's that. So you never actually lose anything, and you can use hobbies and skills you learn elsewhere. It doesn't always have to be for financial gain. Yeah, and Greg, with every pun and every cheesy thing you do, I'm sure you end up learning different things and different ways to say it. And, it's a charisma thing. You're learning social skills too and how to talk to people. And like, there's so many underground things people don't consider, Oh, that's so maddening, Robin. But I mean, I've never been someone to really agree with the whole imitation is the highest form of flattery or whatever. I hate that. I hate that so much. I think it's BS. I get what they're trying to say, but I'm mad that that's so well known like that, because if you catch someone copying you, that's like the first thing they say. And it's not good. It's, it's like, do your own thing. Get your own characters, Use your brain. Because if you're just copying all the time, you're not helping yourself learn how to make something new. Right? So, I mean, that goes for anything. If you're doing, too much of one thing, you're not learning how to correctly represent something from your brain. The more you can draw from your imagination, the better. That and learning to draw from life is extremely valuable, because that's going to really help you to manifest what you're thinking into something believable and realistic and all that. It's true, Greg, we do know. Hi, Turkey. How are you? Oh, good, May Fox. Good. I'm having fun drawing these mint leaves, man. Little strubers. Yeah, the neighbors are more noisy than usual. It's crazy. I keep putting a weight on my finger. I sliced it the other day when I was giving our dog a haircut. One of our dogs. Total accident, but yeah, I sliced my finger. It's no good. Being an artist, I keep touching it because I'm an idiot. Freshen things up. Hey! There's my Alex. I was watching Little House on the Prairie a while ago. Now, I never grew up with this show. I never watched the show. I just knew about it from other things, right? I finally started watching it because it was on Prime. And I was like, man, I should probably just see what's up. I watched it. And that is some wholesome shit. Let me tell you. Like, that is, you want just a nice kind of low stress ambient show. That's a show for you. Like, holy crap. Like, the worst things they have to deal with are like wolves and junk and, I don't know. It's just super wholesome. Minus the racist parts. There are racist parts, but it's not horrible, but it's not good by any means. It has to do with Indians. But I mean, it's the West. The Old West, when people were afraid of Indians, so... It's weird. It's weird. You'll have feelings about it, I'm sure. But for the most part, the show is wholesome. It is definitely a product of its time, however. What the hell was I doing over here? God, God, I'm so guilty of this. I do this on even like professional things I'm doing. I'll just skip around and then realize half of some part of the drawing is just blank. Hangable autobulb? Hangable autobulb. Hello. Welcome. Oh, it's still running on German TV? Oh my god. Which micron? I got two. The thick one is an 03 and the thin one's a 005. The thinnest pen I have, and I love it to bits, but I only use it sparingly, is a .25. I think it's a Sakura pen. Oh, good lord. I don't know where I put it. It was around here yesterday. But yeah, it's a .25, and it's like hair thin. I don't find many uses for it because honestly it's almost too thin, but like it's really good for hatching and stuff. But yeah, it's a .25. I actually find that I use the 005 and the 03 pretty often for the two line widths that I go for. So it does it enough for me, I guess. Michael Landon, oh yeah. Oh. I was just really surprised because, I don't know, as I've grown up, I feel like a dork when I say this, but I do seek out a lot more wholesome things. Like, I went through my stint with dark art, and I was good at it, but I was like, nah, this feels weird. Like, eventually I went and I moved on to cuter things, and I was drawing humans for a long time, but I wasn't very happy. Like, I could draw them, but I didn't want to. And this is where I tell people, like, draw what you want to draw, what you're happy drawing, not what you think other people, want you to be drawing, or what you think you should be drawing. That was the other thing. I didn't see many people who were doing what I was doing, so I thought what I wanted to do was wrong, because I didn't see other people doing it. Well, I still honestly don't see many people doing what I'm doing, but at least Gabe is kind of similar with what he does in the way he does it, not necessarily his content. But, yeah, it's hard because when you don't see other people doing what you're doing, you're like, am I wrong? Is this not what I'm supposed to be doing? But you just gotta find your people. It's one of those things. You guys ever see the Blind Melon video for No Rain? It's that. You gotta find your field of bees. Go find your bee people. Beeple. Thing is, I still haven't found my people, but I'm people enough for me now. So, as long as you're comfortable, F it. As long as you're comfortable, F it. Really. Let's be honest. But it's just, I don't know. It was funny, I was laid up in, like, bed, basically, for 2 weeks at the beginning of March when I got back from a convention, and I'm pretty sure I had corona. I had COVID, or whatever. I'm not the type to be, like, oh my god, I have the thing, but it seems like all the symptoms I had were what that is, so I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I don't know, but that's what it seemed like. I was out for 2 weeks, and during that time, I watched a bunch of things. I went through all of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because I had seen the original, and everybody was like, well, you gotta watch Brotherhood, because it's more true to the comic. So I did. It was good. And then I started watching all these Ari Aster movies, because I hadn't seen them, and I really wanted to see them. Every time he released a movie, I was like, oh man, I want to see Hereditary, and I want to see Midsummer. So I took a day and watched all those movies, kind of back to back, while sick, and basically, like, kind of, not all there mentally. because I was all hopped up on all these sorts of things. I had mad fatigue. I was coughing like crazy. So it was a thing. It was weird. I liked Hereditary the most, though. So I think I watched Hereditary, Midsummer. There's another one. Why am I blanking on it? Anyway, out of those, Hereditary was my favorite. I like that one. But I don't usually like horror anymore, is my point. So those are probably the... coming back around. What was your point, Ashley? That was my point. So I'm not as much into horror. It's just I want all the things I put into my face, whether it's like TV or whatever, to be more wholesome. I don't know. It just makes more sense to me now. I don't know. I just want to be happy. And I think it has to do with the world and the fact that the world right now isn't so happy. So, and it hasn't been, I guess, for a little while. So you gotta seek out the things that make you happy, you know? Man, this is starting to have a serious Christmas vibe. Not my intention. Don't worry, Mayfox. I'll throw some pastel on here and I'll blend it out. I agree, Serenity, but I also learned something kind of personal about myself recently, because I thought I was an outsider, or like an outlier, or, something like that. I found out something worse. I'm not even an outsider. I'm invisible, which is worse than being an outcast. Like, I would much rather be an outcast than be invisible. Because at least an outcast, people are still seeing you. They're just, I don't want anything to do with that person. Being invisible is a whole nother thing. Being invisible is a million times worse, in my opinion. I need to hire you as a life coach. Honestly, this is kind of what my stream ends up being. I give pep talks. I yell at people. I get angry at people. I'll yell at you if you're, fucking around and you want to get something done. I do this. A lot of the other times, though, I'll just try to talk about good things. But it's kind of all over the place. I kind of let my mind roam when I'm streaming. So could be good, could be bad. You get what you get, I guess. But yeah, being invisible. I've become invisible. And to a lot of my peers, the industry kind of, it's a very strange feeling. It's like being forgotten, but knowing you were never memorable, I guess. I'm not getting down on myself or anything. I'm saying this with a very objective view. But it's weird, because a lot of people don't even know me in my kind of vicinity, I guess, in the industry. And I get just overshadowed, or no one knows, and it's like I've been around here. It's not like I'm not putting myself out there. But it's like I'm invisible. But I'm trying, but I'm invisible. It's weird. I think some of my regulars kind of might know where I'm coming from with this. But it's weird. It's a weird feeling, because obviously you're not invisible to those that are around you, but in the grand scheme of things, I kind of am. It's like I try hard to stand out, even with my ears and stuff, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm good at kicking people's asses, if that's what you guys are saying. But I don't know if they ever do anything. that's the other thing. Like, I'll kick someone's ass until they just don't care anymore, and then I won't care. But yeah, I really try. Thank you, Fairy. Oh, Fairy, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, Serenity, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, you and I are so similar on a lot of... We're firing on a lot of cylinders similarly. Yeah, I get it. I get it. And I would like I said, I'd much rather be an outcast that's doing something so weird and strange and different that people are like, man, I really hate their work, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, people know you because they like to hate your work. But that's at least a response. That's different than not getting any response, you know? So the art world is very strange, you know, let me tell you. Are you? Oh, Robin! What have you gotten done? These need more spec highlights. What is this song? This isn't a song. Snowflake Blossom. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, this isn't... Man. I don't think I have any of my other... Ugh. Whatever. Oh, I totally understand that, Serenity. Oh man, I gotta message you later. Actually, Serenity, if you're okay with me venting to you about something, will you message me on Instagram? And I'll tell you later something interesting. Thank you, Snowflake. This was for one of my patrons on my Patreon. I do sketch cards for them every month. I have one spot left on my Devoted Dandelion tier, so if you're interested in that, go check that out. It's international too at the same price. So if you're international, if you're domestic, either way for Devoted Dandelion tier, I've figured out a way that I can get anybody going on that. Yeah, I've been forgotten about when I've lived with somebody for 2 years and they forgot about me. And it's like, bro, I live with you. What's up with that? I mean, you don't forget stuff like that. Yeah, Discord. Discord's fine. Just message me so I don't forget. Cutting out hospital gowns? Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for doing that. Intended. Oh, Dennis, oh no. Oh, man. Greg, have you heard that one? I'm sure you have. Or for some other ones for the people just coming in. Here's some other ones I did a little bit ago. There's an owl. So all the sketch cards revolve around what my patrons enjoy. So they give me a big list of all their likes, interests, favorites, foods, things like that. And I'll make a piece kind of revolving around what they're into. Every month. Every month. Hey, Sarah. How are you? I really like that one too. You catch honeys by being fly. Oh, that's cute. For a minute, it was like, oh man, this is going to go into some sweet advice. All right, let's hear it. And then it's just a reversal. And I totally respect that. Oh yeah, and socials. Yes! Greg, there you go. You got a new one. So the stream's already worth it tonight. See, I love these jokes. They're wholesome. They're cute. And since these are mint plants, I will tint these a little bit blue with the pastel later. And then the strawberry leaves are actually tinted yellow, so I'll take another pastel and do those yellow and do the other ones blue. So at least we have some differentiation between the two. I kind of feel silly about what I said about Little House on the Prairie. It's like, yeah, it's super wholesome. Well, except for the racist part. But it's really wholesome. I mean, it is wholesome. Except for the racist part. It's really weird, like, how a show could be both. It's so weird. At least it's not a big part of the show, I don't think. From what I saw, it wasn't a very large part. Yeah, see? Little House on the Prairie. I just learned about what it's about, basically, in the past, like, couple months. I had never watched it growing up, so I finally, saw it on Amazon Prime, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. It's wholesome, except for the racism. That's how I would probably tell someone about it. It's pretty wholesome, minus the racism. This feels like a tattoo. And a cute lady. Oh, Greg, you're too kind. Oh yeah, totally relatable. Alex, you might have a rival here with Greg. I totally forgot that you guys kind of are into the same sort of thing. So yeah, we should have a pun off sometime. That's good, Dennis, that's good. I'm glad for that. Yeah, May Fox, it's totally true. It's totally true. I mean, it's, like I said, it's a product of its time. That's another way to put it, too, I guess. If people are wondering. It's a product of its time. I mean, I feel like you can still like things that have those bad things attached to them, but at the same time, you have to acknowledge them, at least. Acknowledge it to move past it. That sort of thing. Like, I like a lot of things from the 80s, but damn are they sexist. Oh my god. Give me a good old-fashioned action hero movie, though, any day. Anything with Kurt Russell, Stallone, good old Sly. Get back. Huh?
Said, oh no.
Oh no, what?
Curtains.
What are my curtains doing?
They're being open.
Oh. Well, I'm hidden. I'm okay. I have 3 doggos. If you want to see my doggos in their glory, you can go look at their Instagram because I am that guy. Pom Pom Bully. And is toned. Strathmore mixed media paper. It's actually very cardstocky. It is... Gabe, can you grab me one of my mixed media sketchbooks? They're either like around here. Maybe there's one up there. The Strathmore green. I think it's right in front of you. Don't get the one that has the cowboy on the cover. That's the wrong one. That one will not hold up. This one has pretty lady flower hands. It's Strathmore Tone Tan Mixed Media. You can get it on Amazon. And I've even used this with like some water, and it even held up with water, like doing some watercolor type stuff. So it's pretty good. Isn't she? She's a whiner. Oh my god. Bruni, you a whiny baby? She's so whiny. Bulldogs are so needy. It's so funny. They are a ton of maintenance, though. I don't want anybody to go bulldog crazy and think, oh my god, I need a bulldog. They're the highest maintenance dog, basically. I'll just say it. Because you have to wipe their butt, you have to clean their folds, and, you know, I feel like before anybody ever gets a bulldog, they should really know what they're getting into, because it is a full-time job. It's like having you're taking care of somebody who needs full care. Trying to get my pastels. But thank you. She is adorable, but she is a handful. And here comes my banner. Thank you, Gabe. I'm glad you came out. Yeah, I don't know what its deal is. It needs some help. Oh, heck. Yeah. You're welcome. Kaleisle? Is it Kaleisle? 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 Pretty sure I got that beginning good. Oh, Mushy. Hi. Oh, you been sleeping. Oh, my mooba. Attack from the back. It's true. I just got owned. It's gonna happen again. I know it. I know it. Kaleisle. Oh, Ash's Graphics. You still are on Instagram, aren't you? I saw your stuff pop up the other day. And it looked like you got married, right? Congrats. Not to be creepy, but that's what stood out in my head. And you got married? And you had eggs for breakfast? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, world builder. Yeah, nailed it. I remember the most random things sometimes. It probably does come off as creepy sometimes, so I apologize, but please know I have the best intentions, and I'm not a creeper. I just remember rando things. I hope you had a wonderful wedding. Star Princess! Wow, I'm surprised you were able to get that name. Hi, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Star Princess! So this is usually how I tint some of my stuff. I'll just use a pastel in it.
They got a Spider-Man game on VR.
Oh?
And it's free.
Oh god, F that. I'd throw up. I would throw
I
up.
want to see you throw up.
You want to see me throw up? Did you download it?
I did.
Oh my god. Did you already try it?
No.
Oh my god. Guess I'm taking 20 minutes tonight to throw up.
Oh, they also have a Last Guardian.
VR?
Yeah.
How?
You just play as a little kid.
Like, is it the full game?
I think so. I mean, there's a demo.
Oh, God, no. I already beat that game. Round 2. How we looking, May Fox? What? Oh, yeah. You always have eggs for breakfast? Ah, I'm sorry. Congrats. Oh, I thought you were saying that to the fact she has eggs for breakfast. Oh, I forgot about the thing already. Lockdown wedding. Get out of the car. Wow. You know, but that's a story for later. Like, I don't know. I think all these things that here's that optimism again. Here it comes. But it's like, you know, we're going to have stories. Whether you have kids or you have friends that you can tell later that may not know, like what you did during your lockdown. That's a story. You know, that's something.
Yeah, imagine what you can tell your grandkids. Or future generations of people.
Yeah, I think we should just say future generations, because I don't like assuming people are going to have kids. You know?
Grandfriends?
Grandfriends. Grandfriends. By Corona. Yeah, throw up, because Gabe apparently downloaded this new VR Spider-Man game, and I'd probably throw up.
Right.
So we're probably gonna try that. Oh, it's funny. She can do it for a little bit. Are you gonna cry at me? Oh. You gonna cry? Yeah. Oh. You too tired to cry? Oh. There it is. Here it comes. A strawberry real bad. We got strawberries today. Dude, like, I need fresh fruit and like veggies and stuff, so like during this lockdown thing, it's the one thing I need a lot of all the time, I feel like, you know. Grandfriends. When kids complain about how bored they'll be, we entertain ourselves for 18 months with nothing but Netflix. There's a post I saw, oh my Minnesota, that came up on my Instagram the other day, and it said, all it said is just white text on black background. It said, I finished Netflix today. And I lost it. I was probably laughing at my phone for like 10 minutes. Finished Netflix today. I heard it in Wayne's voice.
Finished Netflix today.
So I finished Netflix today. Super like Canadian. Finished Netflix today.
Don't know now, you know.
The tortoise walks really fast of strawberries. What is that? Mayfox, what? What? Mushy, you crying? It's not quite dinner time for you yet. You have a half an hour. Oh, now she's mad at me about it. Let's see, what should... What was that? You crying? You guys hear this? She'll just do this for hours sometimes. Like, if we've fed her, if we've taken her out, if she's had a nap, if she's been played with, we try all the things, and if she still cries, she's just crying to cry. Sometimes she just wants a hug. Like, Bruni, do you want a hug? Do you want a hug? Do you want noms? Do you want potty? They're varying degrees. You have to guess.
But, you know, by a round of applause. Oh, I don't know. Sounds like we have a tie.
Yeah.
She needs to poop, eat, and potty. And sleep. Can she do all three at the same time?
find out tonight. So yeah, we basically play guess what the bulldog needs 24/7. And it's cute. Yeah, it's cute. Until she does it for like 4 hours and then you're like, okay. Okay. It's funny because when she does want a hug, we call it a hug, she'll say, yes! And she'll bark about it. So it's like, you know, Bruni, do you want a hug? Yes! And then we sit on the floor with her to give her a hug. And then she'll go grab a toy and just sit on our lap. That's it. What mic do I use? I use a blue snowball that I was gifted by a Twitch viewer
An essential
4 years ago.
An essential young man.
An essential young man who is helping at this time of need. Oh. See, that's unacceptable. You can't do that on stream. Bruni, you're going to get kicked out.
I'm gonna evict you.
Yeah, you're going to get evicted.
You're the only person in America getting evicted.
Oh, that's not true.
Let's go potty.
There's probably some landlord somewhere who's being a D. Want to make the tortoise salads? He could care less. Oh, Mayfox, you have a tortoise?
What?
Gabe didn't know this. Gabe
no,
loves
I
tortoises. Did you know? Did you know?
I did know, actually, yeah. 'Cause I was
Well,
saying
he
that
sucks.
I've wanted
Not the
one.
tortoise, Gabe.
I've wanted a turtle since I was a little kid.
It's a strong maybe. Definitely maybe. Do you need to potty? Definitely maybe.
I've wanted a turtle since I was a kid, but then I found out turtles are actually kind of stinky.
Turtles are
And they
stinky.
gotta be in the water all the time, and I'm like, well, that's not cool.
Don't
So
be
then I
mad
gave
at the
up.
turtle for being what a turtle is.
No, I'm saying, then I can't really play with them all the time.
That's fair.
The salmonella or something. And then, so I gave up for like 10 years.
What do you think, Alex?
And then I got old. And in
Gabe,
my
do you
20s
like the old Ninja Turtles movies?
Yes. Yes. They're almost like the closest to the real comics. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. Except for April was black. So.
Was she in the comics?
Oh, Latina. She had really stringy hair.
Really?
I think the creators.
Why don't they put that in?
Well, because it was like late 80s or.
Dude, but the
something.
80s was huge on, well, at least the 90s became huge on diversity.
Yeah,
Are we
but-
forgetting about Power Rangers and Captain Planet, please? Oh, and Magic School Bus. That was heavy on diversity. Okay? Where is that now?
You sort of just said the same series.
No, I didn't.
Magic School Bus is just.
Power Rangers and Captain Planet?
Is Power Rangers or yeah, no, I mean
No, you're wrong.
Magic School
Wrong!
Bus is pre-Planet Captain Planet.
See,
The bus
I
lady,
can't follow what you're saying. You're breaking it up all the time.
The bus lady trained all those kids to be Planeteers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're just copying that meme you saw. Gabe,
Bingo.
don't steal things.
Bingo.
Gabe steals things all the time.
I repurpose them.
You're a klepto, man.
I'm just a Jawa. My culture.
Was the first Turtles one Secret of the Ooze? I just remember seeing the giant dandelion and I lost my shit. I was like, oh my god. I love that like crazy. And then I never that was all I cared about. Misa, hi. Thank you for the follow. Aw, Diego. Thank you for the raid. What's up? How was your stream, homie? I'm just doing some sketch cards here. Hello, everybody. The ooze is the second. What was in the first? Why can't I remember? Because the ooze was the one that had, was it Roktar? And the turtle and the wolf. I don't remember their names. Because it wasn't Bebop and Rocksteady. They did something else. Tokar and... I'm not going to remember. I totally forgot what the first Turtles was, though. Razor and Tokar, right? Oh, thank you, Diego. Yeah, that was Vanilla Ice's best anything. Can we be honest? So I'm doing ATCs right now for my patrons. These are a couple other ones I did on my last stream. There's a happy frog. Here's an owl with a makeshift lantern, if you will. And then a kitty and some peonies. Flowers. So there's some more here. This one's for May Fox in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. April takes Rose. Yeah, why don't I... Oh, the first one had Casey Jones. It was, what's his face from The Prophecy? Dude from The Prophecy. Elias Codius. Yes! Oh, nailed it. What?
Casey Jones?
Yeah, Casey Jones. Yeah. Okay, that's what the first one was. Now I remember. You just had to say Casey Jones. I just remember. All right. No, I get it. Oh yeah, you guys feel free to follow Diego here, who has so nicely rated me. And for everybody who's coming from his stream, their stream, these are my socials. So I'm basically Cloverkin everywhere. Makes it easy. Makes it easy. Alright, so I think... Are you okay if I do one more, Gabe?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do another ATC. For this patron. So let's get out another card. Mayfox, is this good? Do you want anything more to this? Or are we good? I will write on the back. 4, 4, 20. And I should probably do this with a pen. You're super happy? Yo, that is a good kind of happy to be. Yo, yo, boo-boo. I am happy that you are happy. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so let's put these over here. Let's get another one. Here we go. Here we go. That's smart. Alright, so what else can we do? Oh, I was gonna do the Luna Moth Witch. Luna Moth Witch. So what I do for my Patreon, I'm sorry for those who have been here and who have heard this a million times. This is just the nature of this stuff. I hate to say it, but it totally is. So, my patrons will give me a list of like their interests, their likes, their favorites for this tier specifically. I have other tiers, but this one is the one I'm working on right now. And I'll kind of get inspired off their list or pick specific things to kind of mix and match, or pick something similar to what they like and do something off that. So it's basically a subscription to original art every month that's kind of a surprise. That's fun, right? That's fun. I would like it. I tend to make Patreon tiers that I myself would be a part of. I mean, it's fun. It's cool. I don't know. Not to, myself, but just saying. Let's do a cute little witch. How's everybody doing tonight? I came over from Diego's stream. What are you up to? What have you done? What are you doing? Thank you! Yeah, it's a nice way to make affordable original art for people. And the cool thing about these is they do fit in little card sleeves. And you can also put them in like a binder. If you get enough of them, you can get a binder with like a baseball card sleeve slotted page. Wow. Sleeve slotted page. And you can keep a bunch in there. So they're basically like one-of-a-kind trading cards which is really cool. We actually got kind of obsessed with them for a while, a couple years ago, and they're like crack when you start getting into it. I've never had crack, just a caveat here, but, you know, just saying. From what people tell me, it's like crack. Okay, I'm gonna do like a moth witch here, I think. I think she likes cute things. Let me make sure. Fairy cats. Oh, if she likes Studio Ghibli, then yeah, this should be fine. I think I'm not. Right? Oh my god. And this is so much cooler just because, you know, each one is an original. So it's like you're collecting rare cards all the time. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I don't know. Printed magic style cards. What, Gabe?
No, I think I'm gonna open up my Game Boy modding thing.
Uh-huh.
So that I can.
Your Game Boy what?
So my Game Boy modding.
Yeah.
So that I can mod my own.
Okay. I think I get it.
You know, with the sales of, then I can fund my own.
Yeah, a paper cutter is cheaper than a print order, it's true. Well, actually, if you're interested in that, Gabe does pretty well. He makes... Do you have an NPCs in a pinch pack?
Yeah.
Do you
I have a pack, but I've got...
Do you have the cards?
Yeah.
I'll show you exactly kind of what you're talking about, I guess. And if you do end up wanting to get your own cards made, I highly suggest Game Crafter. Is it the Game Crafter?
It is the Game Crafter.
Damn it. Okay, add the Game Crafter. So Gabe makes... Gabe's in the chat here. Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, me.
He's the voice you hear. Gabe does these things that are like items and characters, right? Character cards for D&D stuff. Yeah. But he also writes things on the back, kind of like you're talking about. But he gives the whole image on the front. So, like, I like this guy. He's one of my favorites. Is Fruits in here?
He is not in that pack that you got, but he is in the...
Can you get me Fruits? I love Fruits. He's my favorite. So this is cool. It's called Payback. You basically flail someone with it and get money. There's a little guy here. Jason Embry. Oh, there's a little girl. I never noticed that. I'm a bad girlfriend. It's a werebear girl.
Fruits is like he's a vendor.
This is my favorite I think Gabe's ever done. His name is Fruits.
Well, his name isn't Fruits.
I call him Fruits.
So here,
that's all.
That's his weapon.
Oh, his weapon is a knife that's embedded in a banana.
It's not so much his weapon, but like he.
I love him though. I just call him Fruits. His name is Trotar Firemane. Whatever. Fruits. I'm gonna call him Fruits. Right? Sarah, you're with me. Fruits is the best. Yeah, so he sells fruit. He's just a minotaur. But he looks like a Highland cow. Yeah. Is that on purpose?
Yeah.
It's like you took a longhorn bull and mixed it with a Highland cow and made him a minotaur.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
He's a Highland minotaur.
He's adorable. Tall tail, special order. So anyway, these are great, and Gabe's great, and it makes me angry, but we're both jealous of each other and like proud of each other. It's a terribly strange arrangement. Fruit. Yeah, he's good. If you want to follow Gabe, he'll put his stuff in the chat so you can follow him. I'm gonna actually draw the body first. I got ambitious here and I wanted to draw the hat so bad that I just drew the hat first. I shouldn't have done that. That's my bad. I get too excited sometimes with certain things. Oh no, Ash, no.
You can see the other ones there.
You make them. Hell yeah. You can do it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or Gabe. We'll help. We'll help however we can. We love helping people. Oh, Bruni. Oh, Bruni.
Moonafeld.
Bruni, why? Well, I want the moon to be out because, you know, moths.
Hey.
Here we go. It begins. Yeah, I think she's hungry.
Bernie, you want some?
She
You
eats
want
at 10, so it makes sense.
¿Queréis algo de comer?
Yo, random Spanish. So in every stream, I do have one spot open here at the bottom. So every stream, if you get here early, you can claim your spot to get one done on stream, and that's what this one was. But otherwise, you can get them every month through my Patreon. But if you're pretty good, you can get here on time on one of my stream days, which is just, for right now, it's just Saturdays. And, you know, get it that way. So that's one way to do it. Fantasy, thank you for the follow. Let's get cards. So for anybody who wants to do their own, I highly suggest just cutting your own. They're 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Don't buy the ones they've got at stores. That's just kind of a waste of money. Plus, it's not always the type of, like, it's not your paper. You know, you want it to be the paper you're used to, the paper you like. So, I'm gonna make this a dainty little moth witch, I think. Papa's making you food, Moo. Why are you sad? She's gonna be crying. She gonna be crying. Trying to figure out. Maybe she should have a torch. That would make sense. Yeah. She's standing on it. Marching? I don't know. Usually I'm pretty good at getting out an idea right away, but right now I'm trying to... Honey! It's coming. It's coming. Foods. There you go. Yep, that's how you want to do it, because this Strathmore watercolor, yeah, Strathmore in general usually is pretty fail to me, except for this stuff. This is the best Strathmore I've ever used. And I don't use any of the other stuff. This is the Tone Tan Mixed Media. It's super, like, it's good. Don't get the one with the cowboy. The one with the cowboy is like, it can't hold marker or ink or anything. So, highly suggest not doing that one. Alright, I'm gonna have her walking across the water, I think. I was gonna originally have it be stones, but I think it's better if it's, you know, not stones. There. Yeah. I'm digging it now. I'm feeling it. Is it? Oh, Serenity. What's your guys' like go-to over there? Like, what are your good brands? Bruni, Noms. Noms, Bruni. She's not moving, dude. Yeah, he does dissolve. You got it. I guess, Serenity, what's the native best brand you guys have in your stores? I've heard good things about bee paper. That's great. Gabe, have you used bee paper?
Yeah, I've got some.
Do you like
I
it?
haven't used it a ton though.
Oh, really?
But yeah, everyone says it's good.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't tried it yet.
There's also
Oh, Butters.
it's called Legion.
Oh.
We are paper.
Did they use that?
It says we are paper.
Oh, that's smart. We are Legion, we are many. We are Legion, we are paper. That's good. Let's see. I just realized I have to put some clothes on this. So let's do some clothes. I want to have cute, kind of cutie boots. They're just little, kind of classic medieval boots. I don't want to make her too girly or anything. I think it'd be cute if she's wearing a jumper. I like the idea of a witch in a jumper. But maybe not shorts. Maybe just a longer skirt. There we go. And then, I don't care how many times I've done it, I have to look at my hand to draw her hand. Even though it's simplified, I always forget what curls around what. There we go. Oh, Gabe, she might already be doing it. Maybe some socks. Maybe some glowing eyes. Yeah, I kind of dig that. Claire Fontaine. Oh. Wow. I think Gabe had mentioned Claire Fontaine before. Oh, that's right. Yes, Serenity, you did. I remember feeling those. I think Gabe stole them from me. But they felt really good. That's crazy. I feel like my song stopped. Did my song stop? No. Weird. Fly to Europe to grab the supplies. That is what it feels like, isn't it? What's wrong, Mobuzz? You gonna cry at me again? You just got fed. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. What? Are you really that mad? You're not really that mad. Or are you, Moo? Are you mad, Mushy? Are you mad? Oh, yeah. Nope. That's our oldest one. That's Butters. She sounds like an old lady. She's 7. And she's not like old, but she's very crotchety. She angry. Gabe, this girl mad. You guys can just hear her freak out. I don't know what she wants. Gabe is on pup duty. Yeah, get her. No, they're playing. Get her. They got the after dinner zoomies now. God, this stuff is creepy lately. What's with this list? Probably a croissant. Ref. That's what it sounds like. You're right, Ref. God, I think I missed the setup for your joke. Alex, I think it was probably when I was saying something else. Probably croissant. She always rubs herself on us, like in the morning. She, like, that's her crazy sign of affection. She'll start rubbing herself all over us. I'm like, yeah, spread that butter. Yeah. I don't know. Probably sounds gross, but it's more cute than anything. Ah. Get her, butter. Get her. Aga. She either sounds like a smoker lady or an angry toad. There is no in between.
Bruni.
Now Bruni's mad.
No.
Oh, you butter Yeah, you butter croissants. You better. No, repeat the whole thing, Alex. I don't even know what we're talking about. God, I'm sorry. Bruni, too loud. You're gonna scare off the peoples.
You go potty?
Ew, Bruni. Thank you for the host, Ash.
You want Ponchki?
Ponchki, yo.
Ponchki?
Everybody loves the Ponchki. They should be on the top. They're right on top.
Oh,
Get the moon in here so I don't forget, because I will forget. I guarantee it. Oh no, Alex, no! I bet I had to riff off of something I said, and now I don't remember what I said. So it's not you, man. It's me. It's me. 100% it's me. It was probably good and witty, and I totally missed it. Miffed it and missed it. Oh, now you're gonna hear a bunch of gross noises. That's Bruni eating her Ponchki. Why are you drawing my cousin? I don't know. Why is your cousin in my head? Let's see. Oh. Okay, for those who have been here the whole time, did I not just say that I do this a lot? I forget to draw a portion. Let's see. That's good. Let's do actual grays this time. Since it's a night scene, she didn't need that kneecap recap. I'm glad you noticed it, because yeah, I had noticed for a minute, but once I erased it, I was like, oh no, I forgot. Going to also do this. Gabe, she might need to go out. I don't know. Butters just ran for the hills. Maybe just out back. Oh man, y'all, I'm getting hungry. After this one, I'm stopping for today.
You gonna go potty?
So, if you do plan on getting into markers, you have to perfect the flick technique to get it to do really nice gradients for you. It's really important. So don't get the chisel tip markers, get the brush tip. It's my little goblin over in the corner. Right? I don't, Alex. Sorry. I know a lot about Harry Potter, and I grew up with tons of people who were obsessed with it, but it was just not for me. I wish you were more into video games. We each have our thing. It's okay. Tiny little life in the woods. No, but I think I'd love it. So I'm going to take a picture of what you said so I remember to look it up. Do you want to explain it to me, Fairy? There we go. Yeah, I usually tell people if they want to get into markers to actually start off with 3 grays. And I had a giveaway, I think, in November. That was a full set of what I call Cloverkin Starter Kit. And it was basically everything I started with, or what I recommend to start with if you're going to start doing markers. It would be these 3, which would be a 155, a 157, and a 159. So basically the odds, if you could see that. So the 155, 57, and 59. Make sure they're brush tip, which is the squiggly end right here. Okay? If it's a straight like band, that means it's a chisel tip. Sorry, I was using the wrong cap for that. So 155, a 157, and a 159 Prismacolor. And then I usually use white Prismacolor pencil and a white jelly roll. And I'm using microns too. But I think when you're learning to use markers, it's important to, or just anything anyway. Like if you're starting to learn something new, just get something super simple. Don't buy a whole set of anything. Buy like a couple of the grays or colors, just like 3, just to see if you even like it. And then, you know, from there expand, or if you don't like it, then it's okay. Then you only spent like $10, right? Start really small. Don't go crazy. So I find too many people just buy like a ton of crap. It's like, why'd you do that? I ended up not liking it. Okay, so why'd you buy a whole thing of it, man? Don't be that guy. And then still tones. Still tones. Oh god, that sounds right up my alley. Oh, I love it. That we're gonna end up doing anyway, so... If anybody's curious about seeing how I use these water-based markers, recently on my Instagram I did what I call a daily story, where every day I did a new piece of a story that I had not planned, and I just kind of went with it and drew it as I felt, you know, the next part would be and all that. That's on my Instagram under Light Mouse. It's one of my highlights actually, so if you want to see it pretty quickly, you can go in there. but I used basically this marker and one other marker, and then the rest was basically just like the colored pencil and the brown colored pencil and the white colored pencil. See, with this water-based marker, I can keep layering and get it darker and darker, and you can't do that with alcohol-based. Sorry if Bruni's chewing is getting too much. It's pretty gross. So I'll probably stop in the next 20-some minutes. If anybody has anything they want to ask, talk about, I don't know, share. If you want to share anything, feel free. I don't know why my camera's so grainy. I apologize for that. Oh, really? Well, these are water-based. These tan ones I'm using right now. But this one was alcohol-based. These are tan, or water-based. How old have you, when did you notice that you liked? Actually it was 2013 or 14. My whole marker journey, the entire marker journey is on my Instagram. So if you go back to when I was drawing fan art a long time ago on my Instagram, and you go really far back, here was, sometimes I'll put up things that, you know, whatever. But it doesn't actually take that long to scroll to the very beginning, I think. That's one of my favorite things to do on people's Instagrams, is to actually go all the way back to the beginning. But you'll see a whole smattering of junk that I've done. Like my whole convention journey, you can see how my table used to look when I first started versus how it looks now. There's a lot of things that this is why having a digital sketchbook, having Instagram be that, is extremely important, because you can show people, like I am right now, at the drop of a hat, well, you know, what was your journey like? I did a whole book about a lake troll on here. I ended up making it a book, and that was with marker. But I think it was around this time. Cousin Fish, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it was, oh, and it used to be so bad. It used to be really messy. Like, this was before I knew how to, like, handle the flick really well. See how it doesn't just, it's chunky, man. It doesn't look good, right? So there's that. I wasn't using good paper either, but I think the first marker piece I did might have been a Mega Man. But then I eventually found some toned paper that handled marker really well, and then I just kind of went from there. Now I use marker and pastel and colored pencil. Here's a whole bunch of fan art for those that don't know when I used to do it. Here's an Earthworm Jim, here's a Lumpy Space Princess, Adventure Time. Adventure Time. Adventure Time. D. Antword. The Max. The Max. Mega Man. That's 0. That's Mega Man. Gambit. Dante. So there was a lot back then, but yeah, it's pretty rough. More Adventure Time. This is really far back. There's a Judge Dredd in here. But I was using this Bristol paper that was not very good for it. Okay, I think... Nope, still... Yeah, you can go really far back on here. Here's a Totoro. I think it was after this. That's an ink wash. That was marker. Yeah, it was around here, so I think this time 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. But yeah, it's been a minute. So I guess it was, let's say it was 2013. I mean, what was that, 7 years ago? So I'm 34. Math, is that 27? Yeah, I think I was 27. Yeah, that sounds right. Let's go with that. Gabe, can you grab me if there's a... Oh, wait, maybe it's in here. Maybe it's in here. No, never mind. It's not. Is there a marker on that table? No, there's not. Oh, wait. Man, I just saw it. It was over here recently. Son of a... No. I lost it. Yeah, I don't know where that marker went. Damn. That's okay. Whatever. I'll make do. Serenity, you always ask the best questions. Never underestimate the power of going over your dark lines, because it can make things look extra bright. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know why. There had to be a reason. I think I was just frustrated with not having a style of my own, and markers just seem really cool. From all the videos I guess I'd seen, they seem smooth, and I really like the simplicity of them and the quickness that they had. You know, when you put them down, you didn't have to wait long or anything. I mean, they really fit my personality in a lot of ways, but after I got better with them. I found out that the art world kind of doesn't see them as a really, like, they don't see it really as a professional medium, I guess. Like, yeah, it can't hold a candle, I guess, to oil and all that, but I don't know. I found that kind of strange because, you know, they take skill to of their own. I get it, but I don't know. Gabe, do you know your marker story, why you started using markers?
I was like 16,
Yeah?
and there was a stationery store.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like 8 blocks from the house.
Wasn't this pens, though? This isn't markers?
Well, no, I mean it started with pens.
Oh.
But then you know, they had markers, and I think in school my teacher had like a box of like design markers.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I used to use, it was called, I think the brand was called Design markers, but they weren't Prisma. But my art teacher had a box full of like Illustrator markers, like ad
Agency?
ad agency style, where it's just like, it's a metal tube,
Yeah.
and then a really fat, like chunky, really smelly marker.
Mm-hmm.
And we used those, and you know, I just liked them, and they came in a bunch of different colors and all that. And they just gave you a really good, like a really good solid color. Like you just went with one brush stroke or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then, like every week, I'd do whatever I could to get money.
Oh, bye, May Fox. I'll include yours with your Curious Collector stuff. Thanks again.
I think it was just like, I think it was allowance.
Oh,
I
yeah.
took my allowance, and you know, it was like $5 a week or whatever, because I kept the lawn,
Right.
leaves, whatever.
Ha! I hear you. 8:30. Oh, you bet. I'm glad it helped. I plan on doing some like quick YouTube tutorials in the future, so we'll see how that goes. But enjoy your night. Sleep well. Serenity, what is your favorite medium? Is it marker? Is it watercolor? What do you think? This is really dark. Oh, that's a lot darker on the screen than it is here. It's not as scary as that. There we go. Yeah, there is something kind of comforting about just doing a pencil once in a while. Red Raccoon, thank you for the follow. We're about to end the stream soon, so if anybody has anything they want to talk about real quick, the floor is yours. I'll be on every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central. I'll try to be on more than that, but that's a toss-up, depending on how much work I gotta get done. Because there are just some things you can't stream. Your mind has to be in the work, so. My bulldog is going apeshit. Sorry, I was off screen for most of that. It should blend pretty well once it dries. Sometimes markers take a little bit to finally set. Like, for the most part though, it's usually pretty alright. But I'm gonna mute it so I can do my pencil sharpener. Yeah, that demon is the bulldog. She's really into this toy she's got. It's one weird Hobbit festival. Alright, Fairy, thanks for joining. I'm glad you came. Hope to see you in the future. Enjoy your night. Just need more. And she's my little goblin. My goblin. That's her. Oh, thank you. I look forward to it. Alright. Alright, so... Oh, I forgot the little emblem. Luna moths have a little emblem here. bit to blend it. It's a little bit graphic, isn't it? The slurping. Bruni. Goodness. Alright, so today we got these done. So I started about 3.5 hours ago. So it basically comes down to like an hour a card. Something like that. Aw, thanks, Serenity. It starts feeling pretty cool when you get it like a bunch of these going. Here, let me pull out the camera. I feel like my stream probably feels kind of claustrophobic sometimes. There. Alright. So there's those. I got these. They're also like inside the... There. So because they're inside these card protectors, I don't know, by the end of the month I'll have probably like 14 of these. So that's cool. Yeah, it's a good representation of, you know, what you can do in a month. Wow, that is a game in itself, isn't it? Get that back in there. Wow, I'm an idiot. Don't say anything. Oh, thanks, Alex. You sweetie. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you try to do some ATCs. Because if there's one thing Gabe and I basically preach a lot, it's to work small until you know when you have to like work bigger, I guess is a good way to put it. So like work on things smaller until you're like, yeah, this paper's too small, I want to draw bigger than this. And that's kind of the way you know that you have to grow a little bit. You know what I mean?
Everyone wants to build a mansion when they haven't even built a birdhouse.
Yes. Mainly it's like you have to know what to do with the space that's given to you first. And then, you know, once you are very comfortable with that, then you can move up to a bigger size and a bigger size and a bigger size. It's the people who are like, man, I'm gonna make a painting, and they get like a 6x5 giant foot canvas, and it's a mess, and they don't know what to do. It's because you have to start small and level up. You literally level up, like actually up, you know, the paper size. Because, I mean, how many of us have probably grabbed some paper that's pretty big and we're daunted by it? If you're doing it right, you shouldn't be daunted by it, is how I'd like to think about it. So, you know, I can probably go up to the 9x12 size and be pretty confident. But if I go 11x14, even that slightest couple inches, I'm not used to that yet. So knowing that, I have to get like super comfortable with the 9x12, which I basically am, to go up to 11x14 and be, you know, I mean, I'm basically there. It's just, but then you know what to do with all that extra space, because if you have too much paper and whatever, your drawing's going to be in a corner, or it's going to be in the middle, and it's going to have all this space around it. You know what I mean? So, my advice imparted upon you is to start small until you know you gotta, you know, increase the size. And in the meantime, if you draw a sketch card, show it to me. Tag me in your post, because you should post it. And tag me, and I would like to see what you've done. Because sketch cards are a wonderful way to kind of see what you can do with a small amount of space. And it's good it's cut out, because if it weren't cut out and it were just on like, you know, a piece of paper, you'd be tempted to go outside of it. So this forces you to make a composition within a small area. And I think that's a really good exercise to do. So give it a shot. You know, use your favorite paper, use your favorite medium, do 2.5 by 3.5 inches and do it up. Tag me, that sort of thing. I'll see you next Saturday at 7 p.m. Central, or a time in between on a random stream if I can. Otherwise, have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye!